I have ward right there. I can see.
I'm warding here as well.
Can you maybe one shot? You know.
Top matchup is really free for me.
Ghost in your channel? Yeah.
Okay, I managed to juke it somehow.
Bot lane is actually really fine now.
Okay, I'm gonna return back to my top settings.
The interlane one a lot.
Keep in mind he's petting bot, he's filtering to bot.
Malphite didn't leash. Malphite's getting completely bullied, he can't play. This lane assignment is super free for me.
Good.
Malphite 1 HP under tower, if he stays free dive, he's probably gonna base TP though.
I'm juking top scuttle.
He should be base TP.
Yeah, he's on it.
Yo, look Yone, look Yone. Think this?
Oh, yeah, he's right
All is
here.
mid.
He's trying to get double
TP
kill.
top, I'm gonna reset top right now.
Just gonna get...
He went MR top, he's already buying MR. At some point I'm down to reswap.
Okay, bot lane stays. They may want to look for dive. They have a big wave for it.
Big
I
wave
think they
bot,
want
maybe
to-
you have to cover.
Yeah, I'm running
There you
there.
go.
Back up a bit.
Okay, they go,
Yeah,
they go. You're
yeah,
fine,
he
you're
has
fine.
to reset as well, so probably not. He's sitting on one.
Can you-
kill.
Go cancel? Yeah.
Fighting mid, a lot of fighting mid. Flash. Malphite slowly going mid, you still
I
have
got
time.
him, I
Good
got him, I got
job.
him.
Job. Malphite close to mid maybe.
Yeah,
There's
no
a time where they could look for a reswap.
I can just go top now. But honestly, the wave is horrible. The wave is horrible. Yone has no flash. Can he really do
It's
it?
fine, it's fine, it's fine. Stay for this for now, but we will reswap at some point, okay? You have TP still, okay? Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna give you guys another word bot lane.
I'm probably gonna recall.
Dude, I think I tried to push this and we reswap.
Maybe also
We
recall.
TP to
Yeah,
top
sure.
lane, what do you think? After this mid wave, you go, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Kalista spotted
Are
me
you
there?
with
I have boots. I will not lose a lot.
I tried to do much time I can.
Can you do it now? Oh no, you're
But
fighting.
Leona
Yeah.
can be mid. Leona can be mid.
There's a chance they do top gank here, look at the wave.
I'm running top.
They are mid.
Yeah,
So
Leona
that's
is
okay, mate.
missing. Watch out.
Okay, I found this
I'll
camp and
just
then
recall,
we
whatever.
look to fight.
Look
Yeah,
into
just reset.
reswapping.
It's the bot. They maybe want to dive bot now.
They're
Where
going
is
top
Leona?
gank, I
Where is
think.
Leona? Where is
Leona
Leona?
is missing.
Missing.
We don't know.
Okay,
we
Talia
don't know.
top.
Okay, she might be going top.
Dude,
Talia is,
you need to
Talia
swap
is
not
here,
now.
Talia
You
is
need to
here.
do it right now.
I'll go.
I'm coming.
I'm gonna
No,
reset
let's
and go
dive him,
mid.
Volibear. Let's dive him.
We don't know
He's
where
not-
Leona is. I think Leona is on grabs right now. I'm
He's
checking.
not close to level 6.
Kalista has no reset.
Leona
Yes.
is
Yeah.
for sure there. We can win anymore.
I think
I'm gonna go
was
mid.
bot because he's the plant.
If you wanna hold the wave a bit, you could. Care top, Druid.
I am.
Yeah.
Let's do. I think we should be able to do Drake here.
Thanks for holding, you can leave.
Kalista needs to reset, yeah. I'm just gonna push next wave and then can move.
They're gonna reswap. Are you fine just staying now?
Yeah, I'm fine. Look, he has a Mar Malphite. I think he'll be happy too.
There's still a chance they try to contest.
I'm
Talia right there.
I'm close, I'm close.
I'm also moving now.
I don't think they do, right? They're fine.
They are reswapping, by the way.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Amazing.
Huge.
We're leaning
This
against MR
dragon is
Malphite.
this dragon is messy for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just...
Mid matchup is very sketchy.
Okay, we just farm it up and I cover
Watch out
whatever
top.
really might
Leona
fight
is
for you
missing.
guys.
Leona is missing,
That's
boys.
gonna be alright.
I don't wanna fight mid much with this champ early game.
Yeah, my champ out
I
to
think
push.
they are on a time when if we don't die at all and the game keeps going like this, we just auto win. I think.
They have a big wave in bot. They may want to look for a dive, but you're around, so we should be fine.
Yes, I'm
Leona
covering-
can also go mid.
I'm
Leona
covering
has
the dive.
Yeah, what about
Big
mid
move.
dive? What about mid dive?
could also be.
my bot dive.
They want bot. They want bot. I will get level 6 from this.
Yon could be bot first. Yon could be bot first.
Okay, I'll come to cover the dive around.
Help dive. Yon is bot. Okay, he's coming. Carry Yon ult.
Don't use your cooldowns that early.
Yon is ult.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yonder.
I'm
right
pushing mid. There, he's gonna have to go
He
mid.
might try to the blue buff again, but he's moving.
Leave
I
us slow.
hover,
Leave us slow.
I hover blue.
They can't. They want to reset
They
here.
can recall. They can recall.
I'm kinda fucked on top until I get Ravenous, by the
sorry.
way. It's not yet!
Let's push next wave and reset also.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna reset, go bot again, and cover the next dive. Sure.
We are fine on bot. We just push and reset.
Warded.
Okay, they look. I'm fine. We don't fight.
Fighting
we don't
bot.
Might be dead, Alistar.
fight. No.
But now you
Can
can
Talia
get
be
dope
bot?
by- Now you can, yeah, you can get dope by that.
Then we go out.
Yeah.
Yon has slight mid push, but
Look top.
yeah. Top is diveable
Yeah,
volleyball.
you're gonna maybe dive him or you're gonna keep full clearing until we lose the game again.
I'm moving my character, man. You have Tiamat. It's doable. But
Yon is
Talia
just
can
playing for
cover it.
push.
In the blink of an eye.
I think Yon maybe resets.
Well, it's a space.
I don't know
here,
about
also.
Yon TP situation. I don't know if he has
He
it,
has
but
not-
maybe he
Come on,
TPs
guys.
Talia top.
Talia top too. Yon may be running top. I don't see him. He might be running top.
That's unlucky, wow.
Bro,
Yon
come
top.
on, just let
He has
me
ult.
don't bait into shit like this. We
Flash
can
it if you
Talia
need to.
can cover, it's not silver 5. You all need to deafen or some bullshit. Come on, man.
He was just unlucky that the Malphite will still hit you.
We got
You
this.
just
I'm
need to cover,
recalling.
you don't need to make plays.
Such unrefined style.
Wait, they will dive.
Are they diving you? No. I think you're fine.
For
No?
Obama.
I'm in really good spot mid. 400, 200 Raleigh.
Vogliono solo 10 kills per minute.
Well, I'm happy with this lane. I don't know about you. Yon will reset soon. He has a lot of gold.
Yeah, I have Ravenous in base.
Malphite running top.
Precision.
We can. Is Talia
Malphite's
bot
running
side?
top.
I'm gonna go get my Ravenous. I'm
No,
gonna-
she's probably here. I would assume she's top. I don't know. I think she's top set.
Okay.
On grabs, probably.
I got Ravenous.
Yep, you're fine.
Yeah, man, this
We
is
both have
FPS
TP on mid.
Just push this way.
I'm gonna get a ward here, I think. Oh. They're here, Kalista.
Leona right there.
You're in a space. I'm gonna push bot.
I have Raleigh in base. I think I need to base for this.
Try.
We get a pre-reset on bot.
Succeed.
You wanna fight this Drake?
With Aurelio Sol Relay, I think we can.
Yeah, I
I can
base for it
rotate as
now.
well. I can rotate as well.
I will move
By the
out
way,
of base.
Kalista don't recall. Kalista don't recall.
I'll go proxy one wave, then I will go.
I do have Raleigh.
No equal.
Yon doesn't have work.
Kalista also needs to base. So we get bot pro. I mean, they can trap on me. Yeah,
Yeah,
Need to do mid
I
base.
need to put wards. I need to put a ward.
I got the proxy if I'm running.
Do not hesitate.
They maybe want to do a fast play on bot.
I'm gonna be first before Malphite.
I have big ult.
Let me catch wave. Let me catch wave. They can move on you.
I
Do we
pull.
want to fight here? Cause look at me.
There are 3 there. You wanna
Yeah,
fight?
but look at me. Look at
I
me.
can follow. I can follow.
An eye.
Just start, just start.
Can we contest this?
Watch
I
out
have
here.
no. By the way.
I'm gonna go back top now.
Just go Alistar combo that
Oh,
Talia.
that's the Malphite teleport behind you. Malphite teleport!
Let's finish. Look here. Front to back. Map is gonna
For
work. Map is
Malphite
dead,
wants
I'm dead, I'm
to
dead.
ult.
We just get out.
Just run, just run. It's fine. One for
I need to stay
Drake.
bot. They have 6 grabs. They're gonna seed something.
Yeah.
Do I need to stay bot or are you fine?
We can kill her if she steps up.
No. I need to go
Okay,
mid.
okay.
I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not bad, I think. Maybe they go for mid dive with Malphite ult Talia right now?
That could be a possibility.
I'm here to cover you. He's not moving, he's just walking top lane to farm.
Okay.
I would like
We
to
need
stay
to
here.
trade.
Yeah.
Unrefined.
We can kill this. No, never mind. Just farm.
They maybe want to dive. How do we play? Do we just flash someone on
I have
one side?
TP. I guess I TP if they dive. I can TP.
At once.
I'm gonna TP if she presses E.
TP.
TPing.
I can't fucking move,
We can still play.
man.
We can still play.
I think you killed them all, no?
Should hug the wall maybe.
Yon is gonna ult you.
No flash, Kalista. No flash, Yon. Should be
Is
dead.
Nice.
Maybe you get one more?
Nice.
Oh my god,
Oh,
so
close.
close.
It's close, yeah, but this is worth. It's worth. It's worth.
Yeah, it's so much
It's
gold already,
worth.
so.
I could have flashed, I guess. It's fine.
Precision.
Malphite ult at top.
I'll just run away.
Are they, you wanna fight this Herald or just give it?
I don't think we
No,
care
no.
about Herald, but
We
we're gonna
know.
lose mid tower maybe with it. This is Yon TP.
So you don't wanna go there, right?
No, we play bot side, I think.
Do you get mid push?
Can it
I can
take,
see him.
Not really. Depends. If you hover, yeah. If you don't, no.
We can
I
maybe
mean,
play
it's
mid
just
into
even.
bot.
It's kinda even.
If we can get mid push with wooden blade, we can maybe dive.
I'm missing. Watch out. They can make a play on top.
Yeah.
Whatever. Watch out.
He has no ult.
Kalista
They're
is bot.
probably on Herald.
Have no
Yeah.
equal.
Leona bot and Kalista bot. It's okay.
Yon missing a bit. No Borg still on Yon. If you take fights, it's good. Everybody, if you hover, we can literally
Yeah, I'm
probably
looking
kill
to
this
fight.
guy.
Walk up mid.
If he like Q's in, you know.
Okay, they have vision, let me clear it.
I'm gonna double in. Arriba.
Leona can be around.
Yeah, but
You're
he's
not
half
bot, you're
HP.
not.
This is good.
Leona is bot.
Okay, we don't have grabs, so
Gonna
don't hit
run
this.
here.
Half HP on. No TP. This is
Just
still
start the
good.
Herald, just start the Herald.
There's a pink here. You went over it.
I know, but I wanna...
Guys.
Are we
Leona
sure
right
they
there.
can buy bot lane?
They
Leona is
can.
right there. Leona right there.
Yeah, static, it's fine.
Okay, we're fine.
Oh, they are
But
running.
Yeah,
They're
watch
looking
out,
to,
watch
they're
out
looking
here.
to contest.
Wait,
Yeah,
play
I'm
slow,
fine.
I'll just
But
take the
I
wave, I'll just take the wave.
I don't think it's...
Kalista can
On
also
me.
be there. Kalista's missing a bot. Kalista bot.
I need to run. Talia will ult me.
I can't.
I'm dead. Leave me. Oh, my
I
bad.
guess I drop this.
I'll just take the tower, I guess. They're there as
I
well.
had to double it differently, maybe. My bad. I think we need to not run vision this useless Herald, but yeah.
Has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, I really thought if we group up...
I
I said three bot
because
side
we
like a
cannot
minute
them
ago.
because Yone is low HP, no TP.
Can we defend this? We shouldn't
Yeah.
let him get over.
Dragon
It's all good. Let's farm for Malianji, I think. I don't know what else we
You
can do.
gonna go on this wreck?
I do have big ult for it, actually. I don't know. What are we
Talia
thinking?
needs
We could
to
easily
die.
drop one. Yeah, Talia has mage, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to run if you can. You're gonna die, I think. Okay, we leave Jake if he dies.
Not bad.
It's okay.
What?
We don't fight it.
Did Talia flash in bot fight?
We don't know, but she has mage. We need to kill her somehow.
Yeah, they get matured here.
Yeah,
Let's
we don't have vision, sadly. Careful here.
Precision and grace.
They could literally go on you, Reba.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ult over the wall if they go. It's fine. But they don't fight this dragon anyway.
Is this supposed to be a challenge?
Fighting top a bit. Yon has TP, so do I, but I can't TP here.
I'm fine.
Kalista can move. Top
Again,
now.
I'm gonna repeat. We want to wait for this, and then we take a fight with my ult.
Okay.
Yes, I
We need to
understand.
kill Talia.
I succeed.
Our champs are gonna be tough, but yeah, we'll try.
I'll trade him a bit here, you can cover me.
Kalista still
No,
kind
I'm
of
not
spikes you right
looking.
now.
They're all top. They're all coming top.
Okay, I will run.
I have no equal.
Kalista mid.
I'm gonna fly to meet, I guess.
Kalista
I don't
has
know.
2 items.
I should actually do another wave. Fuck.
After this, I would scare her.
We can infinitely hold with Aurelion Soul. I'm just gonna build nice bow and shit.
I don't know if I can go for this.
They're here. Watch out.
In the blink of an eye.
I'm gonna hover, okay? If they contest this, I would fight personally. I'm 2 items.
Okay.
They're here.
Like, look top, help him.
Coming.
Go on Lona, please,
Go,
please.
Go,
Go.
go fast.
We have to go on Lona.
TP.
TP.
We can go on TP.
Oh.
Just kill
He's
slowly.
gonna
Kill
engage them
slowly.
outside. I mean on...
You know
We
what?
should keep going. Can we go?
I'm really slow.
can slow.
I'm really
2 seconds W. I wanna go. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in.
looking.
Look.
I'm here with you.
Onward from the sky.
Look, you got
Kalista
big
is on
away.
me.
We kill Malphite
stop.
first. I can go again.
Talia.
Fuck. I can't go again. Yon, kill
Okay,
Yon,
is
kill
coming
Yon.
back.
Just kill Yon.
Yes.
Nice.
Talia not
Another
Blue
30
buff.
seconds.
Blue buff, I think.
Yes.
Let's walk here, no? I can still go over the wall, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm
It's still
go bot.
blue.
If we get a pick, we get Nash.
We can't get a
I'm mid
pick.
with.
My big ult is gone now.
Yeah.
Just reset for tempo now if you have any kind of items on any...
You wanna try to, man? It might be a bit risky.
No, they're not gonna pick this bait.
Did you have mid?
Talia is looking for TP.
Kermit, you might die.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna push bot. Yone and Malphite are really weak.
Okay, I'll just run both seconds and if they try to do something on it, we just run there.
Is this
I would love
supposed
some
to be a
vision.
I have 2 items now.
I wanna stack up ideally for big ult, but we can also fight without.
He has no ult here on Malphite, or maybe he has.
Yeah.
Wait, look.
Yon has TP, no?
No. Like, he can... We don't have enough CC to kill him.
Okay, I will
He's
recall.
just gonna run away.
We need a plan. Do we play top side? Look where our vision is. No one is top. This guy's
Yeah,
just
we
alone
should play
here.
top.
I can teleport if something happens.
It's too
Yeah,
late.
yeah,
If we got the
I'm gonna
wave,
reset. I'm gonna reset Binance one round.
they're probably bot side, I would assume.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I mean, we need to make a plan. We're not contesting mid, so we have to go side, I think, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, either we hit mid
Let me
range.
just reset
Oh, we got
for
set.
rewards.
Okay.
I don't know, I'll respect, I guess. I died to this last game.
I'll do another wave here.
Talia is there.
Equal.
They are
Come to me
heralding.
so I can ice blow you.
They will
There
herald.
are 4 top, there are 4.
Can we defend this? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Tower is gonna die to Herald charge though.
I have insane
It's
TP
drifting to
plan.
mid.
He's going mid. No, top.
top.
If
Lona
we
here,
go, if we go
I
on
need a ward,
Talia,
Tommy. Wait, I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on her.
right there. You wanna fight? Guys, Kalisti's mid. You wanna fight this?
No.
You also have 2 mid.
Could
Just
kill
chill.
Kalista
let's try,
maybe.
let's try to not force too much, because
Okay.
if they go in, we probably win anyway.
They know about me here.
They will be fresh. They will be forced to start Nash because they play against Orion with Kalista and stuff. They're probably just gonna try to force Nash at some point.
I'm gonna recall. Wait for me.
Guys, you wanna contest the Drake?
It's worth
If we
it,
give
honestly.
pressure, yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of worth
I mean,
it.
Talia's getting Rava, probably.
I
We
think
should.
we have a lot of DPS to bear, no?
Yeah, we do. Aesol does it really
I'm
well.
gonna stay then.
If we ping over here and Oliver ults over it, I can just queue over the wall. You know what I mean?
I have a pink right there.
Fuck, I pinged this.
I have a pink right there.
Just pink in the pit. Okay. Go mid, Zari. You need to
Yeah,
like.
I'm good.
Do you want to take the plant and try it, Haribo? Yes or no? You have the plant. I think you should try it.
Let's do it.
Let's try it. Let's try it. We don't
Go.
know much.
Oh, they know.
You wanna
Yon
check?
is sharking. No, go
They're
back.
checking. They look,
They're gonna ult me. Oh my god. Oh, I'm in.
this
Sorry.
Oh god. Talia's pretty
They
low.
had vision. How didn't we sweep this? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
not
skip.
doing
Don't have it.
I don't get it. She knew where I was completely.
Prime for ad.
Just leave Drake.
Take it,
It's
Drake,
not a
it's
big
fine.
deal. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
So we give Drake just take please the wards, please.
Yeah.
I'll go get
Can't get
Mercury.
solo.
When do you have big ults?
I mean, half still, half.
Honestly, that's what we need. Talia has flash already.
Grace.
Guys have a big wave on top.
Well, they didn't even do Nash. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do it.
We kinda need to have a with jungle, Elaine, so we can get
Okay,
Cryo.
Leona Talia top. Leona Talia top, guys.
Puzzles
Do you
try
want to
Fine.
look up?
I got the
Yeah,
wave.
two go top.
seed.
I have a ping.
I'll overextend now. I mean,
Look at this.
Can we get mid Cryo for this? We can't.
Guys, I think when they destroy the ping, we can just attack the bear, no? We can poke them.
I'm gonna stay top now and catch the wave. There's nothing I can do here. Just make sure to hover this area. In case Talia ults me or whatever,
probably there.
okay?
I think they're
They
starting.
kill Baron. They kill Baron.
Do we
very
have blue
fast.
orb? Yes or no?
Oh no, we don't.
It
They're
was,
still
yeah.
here, they're still here. They will now start it. They're not. They're not.
I'm doing top wave really fast.
They want to look mid.
Probably
Big ult
they're
is pretty
rushing.
close.
Probably they're
It could be with Talia and
I
Malphite.
think they're
Yeah,
rushing. They
probably
kill
on
it very fast.
Talia, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're on it. Pretty sure.
How do we have an answer for this? Do we just give it and that's it? Or do we want to fight for it?
They're not on it.
Yeah,
I'm
we
running.
can.
Anyone start it? Do we have sweeper? Controller?
They're not on it.
Okay, then they can start it now.
I'll for sure shard this wave. I'm almost at big ult.
They started.
Yeah.
You need to go there, Reba. Go now.
They
Yeah,
cancel, they
Alpha?
cancel, they
Careful, they're
cancel.
not.
It's not playable there.
Can we get just Luna?
Just out.
Kill Malphite, careful.
Big E. Big E by me. No, nice kinda inting.
Can we look here?
This is fine. We're fine.
Pretty low.
It's,
I don't have ult now though.
Such unrefined style.
Okay, they are on it now.
I just use my E. We wait for my E. We play slow. They're gonna turn with Malphite ult. They have no Yon
One
ult.
shots.
We kinda have to go, yeah. Yon on me, guys. Can we peel?
I got Leona.
I'm helping.
Guys, kill
Gonna flash. Malphite no ult now. Okay, this is
Go on
flash.
her.
Enemy triple kill.
I think someone needs to stay with me so Yon can do this.
I got Leona.
I'm
I
there
wanted to
too.
really kill her so Kalista can ult, then we don't have to worry about her. Couldn't do much more.
Just need to start the Baron now and get power spikes. 3 items, I'm strong again.
No shot here. Yon.
I'm here. Look. Look on you.
Kill him. She's inting.
Nice.
Okay, we just defend top now, yeah? Or
We
bot?
can go bot, no? We can fight.
You
no?
have-
Yeah. I have big ult. I do have, but I have no W.
Just
I
go.
don't think you can. You can't. Can't enter Talia.
To be a challenge.
Yeah, Aurelion.
So,
so it's
guys,
nothing.
Drake.
I think we could, no? What do we think? I think we can. We should, no? We should.
Yeah, we should.
But I need help, please.
Tipping mid wave,
Italiano
come
W.
on.
Talino
Kalista has
E,
no
E.
flash, by the way.
And Talino E.
Can we look Malphite maybe?
I'll go on him.
Okay.
I can fly for Malphite. I'm flying at him.
You okay?
Never mind, I can't fly.
I
Just
think
get
they
Drake.
give
You
it.
ulted
Malphite
away.
no.
Malphite no ult.
I think they give it.
I'm gonna fly mid.
Have no equal.
I'm here
Need
as well.
someone. Come
I'm
mid.
coming.
She has no flash, remember.
Can't. She's too
I'm
fast.
resetting.
We need to defend tier 2 bot top.
Guys.
I'm okay.
You're too
Nobody's there.
Talia's here. Just get out. I fight him in base.
Their Nash is out and we got Drake, and we still have Aurelion bomb.
Can you build
Problem
this?
is Talia. No one in our comp reaches her. Care top. If they're gonna try to siege the star because I'm not there.
get it.
Maybe we gave it.
Coming.
MP items now.
Gonna quickly go base and then I'm on my way. Play slow. If you have to give it over, give it over. Play slow. I'm here now.
You wanna fight?
They're gonna get it. I guess Fiora just farms the inhib the whole game now. I don't know.
Next objective in 2 minutes. We can stall.
I go bot again.
We get mid push. Can we do tier 1 here or not?
I think we can. You
Don't,
can just
I don't think you can get mid.
You need this camp, Ariba?
You can take anything.
Okay.
I mean, I'm close to an item, but doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Oh, I need help.
coming.
I'm dead.
Can you go on him? Go left, I guess.
No.
I'm not going on him at all.
Close. Let's try.
Do you think we kill him there? I don't think we kill him. I mean,
My champ is melting. We burn ult worst case.
Have to go, I guess. We can't give it to them. We'll get fucking rolled.
Open pyramid here.
Do not
I don't think we can contest. I'm going to Malphite. I'm gonna burn his ult here.
Nice.
Okay.
Malphite no ult. You can go,
Yeah, okay,
Reba.
okay.
Go, Reba.
Play.
Yon
Yawn on me.
I exhaust him.
One HP. Look Alista.
Going on her.
Blocking.
Let it launch. Yon.
I'm still alive.
I got her.
Waze?
Okay, we need to burn.
Nice.
We need to burn.
Nice.
You need to
Dash
be
it.
I'm
Drew.
alive.
I need to be DPI. Drew to you recall. Drew to
Okay.
recall.
I will.
We can 2-man just recall. Who's alive? Malphite.
We might be able to get soul. We should be able to if we just rush it.
Yeah, Talia no flash. Nice, really well played.
No big
Nemesis.
ult, but yeah.
I think
I
it's
think we
fine
can
anyway.
rush it before their carries get there, can't we? Like just
Help,
Anarchy.
I need help. Just
Listen.
Just-
Talia is up right now.
I'm flying too. You can slowly go on this. This is good. Yeah.
Talia ult.
She's gonna one-shot us, by the way.
Yo, careful.
TP bot.
Look at you on TP. Look at you on TP.
Can we start?
I will look into him. You guys do it.
Pull it here. They're going through bot side. Kite to me if you can. Finish it.
Zone the Talia.
I'm just.
Hey, can we back?
Back.
Back.
Yeah.
I'm doing so
Going
much.
top wave.
Help.
All good.
Get top right.
Yeah. Did they use anything? Malphite with anything?
I
No.
don't think so.
They'll try to just finish bot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they're gonna try to finish her.
You need to.
I need to
come
just
in.
flash the Malphite ult if I don't report me. 5 seconds C.
I think they get it anyway.
We
just drop it, we dropped
Be
it.
careful, be careful.
We can't
We
drop
don't wanna
mid.
walk up with my E?
10 seconds and I'm out of there.
I think we should fight them as soon as Alistair's alive in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, what are they
X gone
doing?
bot.
They are really
I-
cocky.
Can you slow that?
Can't ult, sadly.
I think we can go.
I'm
yeah.
looking, I'm behind.
I
I'm
can
behind.
slowly.
I'll get one shot if they see me though, but
3 seconds
Maybe you
E.
this guy gets hit.
Just kill Leona. She needs to. Leona will die. Then I get reset. I get reset on my W. I get reset. I can keep going. I can keep going.
I'm
Come with me.
behind you, I'm behind you.
Push me, Druto. Push me.
I don't think.
I think
I don't
we
know if I
can
hit anything.
I'll push bot.
I'll do bot wave.
Okay.
I need
you
stacks at least. Like.
Take a mid. I don't have Nash.
go. I'll go top.
Okay, this is space. Can we get to Tron mid?
Do not hesitate.
I think we can. At least you be careful, their engage is pretty good.
Just be careful, don't randomly die. I'm pushing out top.
We don't push very fast.
Pick it
They're
up.
gonna look to kill
Just
us.
out, just out.
I
Are
can
we
let you
fine?
roll. Yeah,
Yes, we're fine. Talia ulti.
I farm for the big ult again.
Can I reset here? I got item.
Yeah.
Can you look for Talia here?
Again, please. Somebody needs to pillion for me, like Zarya at least, or somebody.
Yeah, I can do. I
I
can.
can't
always
leave
go
me alone
bother their
when we
back
won.
line.
I can exhaust Yoni field.
I help you. I help you.
I can't buy Zonia this game, that's why. Okay, I will get big ult of these 2 waves.
Yeah, but watch out. They good at they will do the same thing, guys. Watch out.
They're
Yeah.
going
Talia,
top.
Talia,
they're
They
going
do
to-
always the same thing. Just watch out.
We should have avoided our red buff here. They might have gotten inside our jungle now.
Going base. I almost have big ult. I'll do another bot wave and I think I maybe have it.
Guys, Talia?
Yeah, she's on our jungle.
Yeah, but we can do the
We can.
rest.
No. Yeah.
Let's do the rest.
Let's. I mean, if they walk mid like this and our soul rotates, they're gonna just die.
Got ult.
Nice.
Let me.
We gotta make sure next fight with this ult
They
and
are
everything, we
here
just
again.
win and end the game.
Challenge.
If we
Picking
wanna
up with
fly on somebody, if mid.
Look for it. I'm clearing vision here. No word. Walk with me, no word.
I have flash. Oh,
Okay,
Look
go
Look at
this
Yon,
way.
Yon on bot.
I need a
One
ward,
more.
I need a ward.
Talia turret.
Talia,
he's there. He's
I'll
there.
just
Ward.
TP
Yon is gonna flank me.
yo. I ulti out.
You look Yon. Look Yon.
Malfighter.
You wanna flash? Look Yon.
I got it, I got it.
Yon.
I'm without him. I'm without
Can
him.
ace,
Go, 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 go.
Go.
Diona. Front
I'm
back.
behind
Front
them,
back there.
I'm behind them.
Look Kalista.
Nice.
End the game.
Mid.
We win.
Nice.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Good job, Nemesis, holy shit.
Okay, nice. I guess we outscaled.
I want
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
something for this game. Don't stress out, don't tilt, and let us just play the game. Because my role as volleyball this game was just to cover dives for bot. That's all. And we win. We fucked up our tempo really bad with that play top.
We go for the reverse sweep. We got this. We got this, guys.
Yep.
We play to scale, they have the early comp. Stuff to not run it down early, that's all.
Well, that Talia kind of fucking played alone this game, didn't she?
What do you say about Aliyah?
She fucking was 1v9. That's what.
Well,
Okay, take a break.
respect.
Quick.
I still go toilet. Take a break.
I don't know
That
what
fucking-
to do.
It's just
Did
that
anyone
pro.
see that Fiora parry on the fucking Yone ult in the last fight?
Yes, it worked!
Oh
Did you
my
see the volleyball baiting 5 wolves and forcing 3
Kappa.
flashes with 3 items?
Kappa.
Bro, legit. No one behind that. It's not
Bro,
even
why are
no
we
one
letting
between
those
five.
games be so close though? Like, I swear, I solo killed the
Because-
Yone, Nemesis is 40 CS ahead. Like, me and him are so ahead.
Because if I don't play like that, then our bot lane just
Okay,
gets
we are
killed.
drafting Gwen this game, by the way. Our 1v9.
If you want to, sure. But listen to me, man. All my gameplay that game was to cover bot dives. The perma went on every slow push for bot dive. That's all we had to play around. If their bot dives don't work, and we got early drakes, then the game is over, isn't it? You want me to gank the rock when we know Talia is topside?
Just focus and win this. Kira is out of champions to carry with.
Unless...
I assume they're gonna play with a sub now. Oh, never mind. They don't have a sub. They play with the same roster.
You managed to fix internet?
Yeah, apparently it won't go out. Yeah,
Wait, you're actually sending
it's electricity in Ukraine or something.
You're actually sending
Blind picks
Bro,
left.
Twisted
really.
Fate is still open, by the way. We are so good with this champion.
Milio is still open too.
Yeah, I guess, but... Yeah, I mean, we won't draft it like blind. He doesn't play TF mid or top, so...
They're selecting side, right? Yeah, they are.
Expect is probably gonna play Cassandra or something.
I think the ASO call was good. Kind of want us.
Oh yeah, Aesol and Fiora won us the game, by the way. In the fight before Nashor and Soul, I literally fucking.
Hi, Zizrin here, and I am joined here by Jonathan. We are at Gamescom, and this is Path of Exile 2, and I figured we would do a little bit of a chat while I play and try out the Mercenary, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, if you want to try out the Mercenary, I'll actually move on to this other character class, which we can do here.
So, it's very different from PoE 1, and it actually took me a little bit of time to figure out that like the mouse button 1 is like changed by like the different ones, like Q. You have like the like quick burst attack here.
Yeah, so we wanted the crossbow to play differently than the bow.
Yeah.
Like it sort of felt like you know, we just sort of have the philosophy that we want every weapon type to feel like way more different in PoE 2 than it does in PoE 1. And so we were thinking, and so we're thinking like, okay, load first and you fire second. Whereas, well, I mean, I guess they're both technically like that, but you know what I mean? Like a bow, it's like you have to load and fire in one action. Whereas a crossbow, you can load beforehand, and so that kind of changes the gameplay significantly. And so the idea of like, you know, preloading what ammo you're using is the thing. But one thing that we recently did that's actually quite different is that we now have a difference between swapping ammunitions and loading them.
Yeah.
So that means that you can switch between two ammo types really, really quickly if you've got rounds in the chamber. But if you don't, then you have to do the reload cost. So it actually works like an FPS in that way, where like you want to actually have rounds in all the different guns.
It feels a lot more like a gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's quite a different feeling.
So this one has been really hard for me to like work with. I've mostly been trying to like shoot it up against the wall. To try
the grenade?
Like, yeah.
So the thing with the grenades is they're supposed to be hard because when they're good, they're amazing. And that's actually one of the other things with PoE 2 skill design philosophy in general, is we want to try to make each skill have a place where you want to use it.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that every skill can be a 6-link now means that like we want to get away from just spam one skill, right? And in order for that to happen, you need like, okay, here's a situation where a grenade is good, here's a situation where a grenade is bad, and then if you should be rewarded for taking advantage of those things.
See, I have a question about that. Like you said, there does seem to be a more focus on switching between skills. And I figured some of the build guides I have, for example, Righteous Fire, which is like a very, like, you don't even need any buttons. I will actually intro that with, like, this is actually really good for disabled players that might be missing a limb. How does that fit into Path of Exile 2 if you are heavily incentivized to use multiple skills?
It is going to be the case that, okay, so we still have automation, right? We still have things like Righteous Fire and so on. It's just that the rewards for switching are higher. And so what that means is, like, I have no doubt that there will be builds that will be like 0-button builds or whatever, you know? Like, I'm sure that will be a thing because we give the tools, the capability to do that. But what it's going to mean is you're going to be getting more spirit in order to be able to support those things, and you're probably therefore going to be getting less damage nodes or things like that, or maybe less defenses or whatever it is you're trading off in order for that to be able to happen. And so effectively, like, you are going to be paying a penalty for that. And I think that is that is how it needs to be. I don't think it can be okay for a 0-button build to be beating a build where you're like hammering buttons constantly.
So basically, like, you will be heavily rewarded for using more complicated, but you should still be able to do most things or everything.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting though because I mean, okay, like I certainly cannot claim to have balanced Righteous Fire, but it is absolutely a tricky one as far as like the universe of skills go, right? Like it can be pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I think, is it this one? Yeah, so this, like, when I was playing on the other PCs, this is what I've been using the most. And I've been sort of like, this is very similar to how I played the Ranger bow build.
Right.
With the, I had like it felt a lot like Toxic Rain. It was like the trap. And I remember you said you hadn't seen anyone using that as a main ability before.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so it's very similar to how I'm, oh wow. Oh, this is brand new news to me that ritual exists.
Yeah.
Very cool. But yeah, so I've actually been like running around kiting like this. This is how I've been playing usually. And then different abilities for bosses.
So one thing that I would recommend though is like at the very least throwing a grenade in there occasionally is going to improve things. But then the other thing as well is that...
I do when I'm up against a wall.
Right. Resistances... a thing that like there's a lot more variety of resistances within areas in PoE 2 as well.
Yeah.
So for example, in this area you've got the tree monsters, and so those are vulnerable to fire, being made of wood. And so you're going to like want to, but there are other ones that are the resistant to fire, and so that kind of thing means that like even just within an area, like it's more reasonable in PoE 2 to expect that you'll have more than one element to be able to utilize, and that sort of should mean therefore that you can you know, like get a lot more advantages from switching between them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can see here, that's what the red is on the bar, similar to Path of Exile 1 with the...
Right. Well, you've actually got, so there's these little symbols now that I don't think are in PoE 1. I don't know, maybe they did get added. Mark might have even added them, I don't know.
Yeah, if you mean the, like, that they're vulnerable to, yeah.
That was added at some point? Okay, cool, right.
Yeah,
I don't even know which of these features Mark cribs and puts in PoE 1.
Well, we've done a lot of quality of life now.
Yep.
That's very good. Now, one thing, this was... I don't know if it was a little bit better on the Ranger, I think, but a big change for me as a Path of Exile 1 player is, well, sort of the removal of phasing.
Yes.
And it does actually feel quite bad, I would say, getting locked in by monsters.
The thing is, it is important to make them
levels.
dangerous. Now, one thing we have done recently is that the dodge roll actually changes your character size when you do it. Previously, we wanted to make sure that dodge roll still is a viable option to get out. But that being said, if you really trap yourself with like a lot of monsters, we want to make sure that it's still as possible, because I think it is bad to be able to just phase whenever you want to. Now, that being said, there is a spirit reservation. For 100 spirit, you can turn your dodge roll into a teleport. And so that is an ability you have available to you if you need to do that. There's also a unique that gives you phasing on dodge roll.
Okay.
So there are options for you. But what I'm saying is that I do think, though, that at least by default, it is important to be able to screw up and trap yourself and like you know. Now, the other thing as well I suspect you're running into is that you're probably gacking quite a lot because you're a PoE 1 player used to doing anything, like you're not necessarily used to the danger that a monster can pose in PoE 2. And so as you get used to the amount of monsters you can actually take on, like in this sort of stuff, you probably won't make those mistakes as much.
It definitely is a thing you can counter with the slower playstyle.
Right.
But I think a lot of PoE 1 players will like get into like or have those habits where they...
Or just more OP items, honestly.
That too, that's the thing. I have not found any gear and stuff. So like that is exactly why it was not a problem on the Ranger as much. Because I had found gear and I was... The Ranger felt incredible.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So that was like a very... it was such a different vibe for me, because at ExileCon, we only had like the 30-minute demo, 40-minute demo, whatever, and you didn't get to play Path of Exile. Because finding gear and upgrades and stuff like that is such a big part of it. So that was very jarring for me, but then at the LA event, when I got to play like 3 or 4 hours and find gear upgrades, that was so like, it felt PoE again. So
let's move over to the warrior now.
Yeah, okay.
And this one might... Okay, so the funny story about this character, when I played it, I mean, I know how to play PoE 2, I would hope, right? So I get this demo character, and I go in here and I'm like, and Octavian is the one who sets these up, by the way. So I'm like, Octavian, this character is so underpowered. You need like way more damage on the weapon. You need like all the stuff, you know, like, and so like I start like, oh, I'm going to add mods to these. I'm going to like change all the stuff, right? And eventually get to the point where the character feels like it's actually powerful enough to not die. And then someone else in the company's like, man, the warrior is just so OP. Like, you know, like that character's invulnerable. There's just no way you're going to die. And then I go back to the original state that he left it in, and I play again. And then I found that character was actually perfectly fine. It was a play skill issue. And so what I'm saying is that like even someone who knows how the abilities work and like does like just playing a character for a little bit of time really gets you into how to play that thing. So you are going to get destroyed. I'm just warning you right now. You're going to get destroyed walking in here.
That's the thing. We have so many PoE 1 habits.
But I'm saying after half an hour of playing this character, you're going to be like that. You're going to be doing a lot better. So what I'll tell you about this is, so if you use the middle click ability here, it's going to create these molten lines. And if you use double slam on those lines, it like re-triggers the lava. You want to probably have more than one line out for optimal damage, but also there are other skills that are going to be more going to do more slams, right? Because every slam will trigger it.
Yeah.
So what we can do is, there's a skill down there called Rampage at the bottom there. Sorry, Stampede. We've renamed it. Throw it in the skill screen there. And then when you use that, it like does this thing and then jump and then does like these triggers. Now, so if you do that and then do rampage through it, then that'll trigger the like a lot of the things. So you can imagine how you know, like that can be that can be pretty good. So the rampage is pretty strong. Oh, by the way, you're near the sun, so you're going to be taking damage continuously while you're here.
Okay.
So get in the shade if you want to.
Oh wow!
to stop that. So yeah,
I'm definitely feeling getting destroyed a little bit.
yes, yeah, no, for sure, you will be. As I said, it takes some time to get used to how to play the character class. Oh, you mana.
It's very, very different.
Yeah. But as I said, you get used to the stuff. Now the that Stampede ability, there's a few other support gems you might want to throw in there. So if you open up, I guess I'm doing the build guide now.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice thing.
Yeah, if you go,
let me just go away from the monsters.
for sure.
Oh dear.
And just careful of that guy. He's got a pretty nasty ability he uses sometimes. Yeah, this no, he's not going to use it. It's all right. You're good. If he uses this like beam attack, that's pretty crazy.
Seems like I really like the right click ability.
Double stamp, rolling slam, yeah. Anyway, so if you open up, we've got some sport gems here. So on the bottom here, we've got the bottom sport gem. This is stomping ground.
Okay.
So any skill where you do a step, it will trigger an extra shockwave on the step. So if you throw that on Stampede, that's going to just be a straight up DPS upgrade. But it does technically work on anything that involves stepping, like shield charge, but also even just like that rolling slam that's got steps in it. There's like other things like that it can work on. Then over there in the middle, just up a little bit, you've got armor explosion and break endurance. So armor explosion, if you put that on armor break, it's up there a bit. That's going to make it so that it triggers an extra explosion when you break armor, and then that one gives you an endurance charge when you break armor.
Okay.
So then this is obviously beneficial. The other thing as well is that leap slam, when you use it on an armor broken enemy, it does a large amount of stun damage and removes the armor again. So you can use that to stun things pretty effectively.
And see, leap slam looks really nice for being able to get out of packs and stuff.
Yeah. So you can definitely. That's the other thing. We do have travel skills like that, but do bear in mind that leap slam has that. It's not instant, right? So if you go to use leap slam, you are in danger because you're not damaging stuff while you're leaping, and so like if you use it in advance to get out of a bad situation, that's very good. But if you're already surrounded, that is going to you might have trouble.
How early do classes get access to something like leap slam or some sort of escape?
So it does vary a little bit. So on the Ranger, you have escape shot, and you get that from level 2. But that skill is not useful to get out of a corner because it takes you backwards. For skills that we want that can just a pure get out of the thing. That's kind of more around like Act 3, start of Act 3 that you start to get that. I think some of them might be end of Act 2, but yeah, it's a little bit later on.
With mechanics like this, where I have to avoid being in the sun, how do you balance that around melee and ranged?
So not every area has to be exactly equivalent on melee and range, right? Like there's some areas where range have more of a tough time, and I feel like I want to have in every act like 1 or 2 areas that have kind of slightly interesting things going on with them that are a bit unusual.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily do it in a non-unique map. Because I think that gets annoying if you're talking about like, you know, the more mindless grind of mapping, you know. But I think in campaign it's interesting to have these kind of mechanics where it kind of forces you to do something a little bit different and do that sort of stuff. And also in a unique map, you can obviously do those kinds of stuff where it's like a completely different type of experience. So yeah. Now another one is that, so we generally, as you're probably aware, avoid cooldown skills where possible.
Yeah.
But I think by the time you get up to the higher levels, it is okay to have the occasional cooldown skill. So, that's that skill I was talking about, the nasty flame blast. Yeah, like that one is pretty nasty. Anyway, so there's a skill called Hammer of the Gods in your inventory if you want to throw that on.
Yeah.
Once you've dealt with this guy.
To be fair, the rolling slam does also feel very good as like a one-button ability for clearing.
Yeah. So, Hammer of the Gods. So this is a cooldown skill. You might want to put Fist of War on it, by the way, because it's a very long cooldown skill. And so Fist of War just works well in it.
Okay.
And you could put Second Wind on there if you want, but it will take a bit longer to cool off then. So what Second Wind does is it gives you an extra cooldown to a cooldown ability so that it charges up again.
Very nice.
But in exchange for the cooldown is a bit longer. I think it's like 25% or something.
Yeah, so if I really want to do something
throw
like
Hammer of the Gods on that thing. And then it takes a while to arrive.
Oh,
but when it does, it does a lot of damage.
See, that feels very good.
Yeah. So this thing's got a long cooldown. But the thing is that so you've got Seismic Cry that can double the number of slams you do. You've got Fist of War to improve it. You've got Second Wind to be able to get 2 of them. Like you can actually nuke a boss pretty damn hard with that ability.
And I'm guessing I can put volcanic
of course.
while this is going down.
Yeah, exactly. And then it slams and then gets all of them. So this kind of thing can be quite fun.
That's very cool. I mean, that's been one of my favorite things so far. It's been like every boss is a bit more like Dark Soulsy.
Right.
And like, honestly, it almost feels like you're fighting endgame bosses in the campaign.
Well, you know, in a way you are, because, I mean, two things. One of them is that, like, all the same guy, Mark, designing the in-game bosses of PoE1 is making all these early game bosses, and the quality standard is the same as an in-game boss as it is for an early game boss. But the second thing is that all of these campaign bosses will be used in in-game as well. So they have to have mechanics and interest and stuff that's going to stand up to that. And in some cases, there'll be like more skills. That's a total waste of that skill, by the way. to use it on some random guys. But in some cases, the you know. So the nice thing is in in-game, right? We can be a lot more ruthless with regard to like the cooldowns that the bosses have on their more difficult abilities and things like that, and you know, like when they use them. Also, a lot of the skills in campaign, like they have upgraded versions they'll use in like the last quarter of life. In-game, we can just be like, it just uses that ability all the time, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah. Hey, any other questions that you have while we're before we start?
You said that strength has like lots of flat life.
Yeah.
How do you balance that around? Like people are going to want int and dex as
yeah,
well.
So int's getting mana. So if you need to solve your mana problems, you're getting you know, you're getting int, and anyone can pick it at any time. If you need strength, then sorry, if you need life, you're picking strength, and any class can do it. And then if you need accuracy, then you pick dex, and anyone can do it. So that's a bug there that. You know, there's one last thing I just want to show you as well, because there's been a couple of changes to the skill system since the last time you saw the game.
Okay.
And I just want to go over that very quickly before you know.
Absolutely.
So, one thing is that the skill system now, you uncut gems, both level gems and give new gems. So we no longer have experience on gems anymore. You actually have to pick. Like you have to pick the skills you want to level up, and this actually changes the game quite significantly, because previously, you know, the number one newbie question is like, why do I have to manually level up my skills? Like it was just a common thing, and like I realized that okay, if someone's asking that, it's because they're not having fun doing that, right? And as soon as we made it so you pick what skill to level up, and then or you can pick a new skill, like suddenly just the fact that there's a decision, and you're like, do I want more damage on armor break, or do I want to get shockwave totem? It's just immediately like a cool thing. And so this actually works more like the Diablo 2 skill tree now, where like you need enough uncut gems as you go through the campaign to level all your gems up, and at end game, getting a level 20 gem just requires level 20 uncut gem. And so effectively, that's the thing. Like, if you want level 20 gems, you need to be finding level 20 uncuts, and they're hard to find. You know, that's like the challenge.
Okay, cool.
So that's one thing.
So you will be able to like still change your build at endgame. You're not going to have to find.
Of course, yeah. It's same. But the thing is that it's it's just a lot more fun during the leveling process to do that. So that's one of the major.
That is really cool.
Major
I always like plus skill points in Diablo as well. So
right. So yeah, that's
one thing that I thought was more difficult in PoE 2 than PoE 1 was figuring out what support gems actually linked, because in PoE 1 you have the things like appearing.
So we're doing that. Two other things. And I wanted to go over this too. The way that support gems work now is first of all you've got the screen, which I think you've seen before in that other thing. So we've got that sort of the recommendation system, but also this screen here, which currently doesn't do this, but effectively shows you all the gems that will work with a given skill. Okay. So that means that you'll be able to see like what exactly works. But the other thing as well is that we've actually changed the way attribute requirements on support gems work now. So effectively every single travel node you allocate is one extra support gem of that color. So if you want more red support gems, so you can see here, like I could have 27, because I'm a strength character, I've room for 27 red supports.
Right.
Only room for one dex support and room for 5 int supports because of the amount of attributes I've got.
Right.
But even if I want another dex support, all I have to do is allocate one travel node, and then I can do another one. So that means there's always a situation where you can, and effectively the
Sorry,
It's all good. We'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for taking time to show me some more PoE 2, and looking forward to release on 15th of November.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks for watching. Sorry if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I did.
Okay, awesome.
So we had an event yesterday. It was the Saudi Arabian Esports World Cup. Now, there were a lot of streamers that were sponsored to watch this event. I actually got an opportunity to sponsor and watch the event myself. I didn't take it. I want everybody to know that it was not for a moral reason. I just didn't feel like it. Okay? I don't want anybody to think that I'm better than this. I don't want anybody to think that, I'm going to talk down about this. No. I just didn't do it. Anyway, how much though? Let's go ahead and watch the clip. I mean, if you look at listen. Say it. If you look at my viewership, especially on YouTube, that's a big number. It's a really, really big number. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and watch this. So the Saudi Arabia is buying all the video games. And in a weird twist of fate that, I'll be honest, even I couldn't have predicted, some of the censorship in Saudi Arabian and Middle Eastern countries is less than we have here. I've seen screenshot comparisons. I don't know how this happened, but here we are. Let's go ahead and watch the clip. Here we go. There's no women.
Finally, we're going to turn to Saudi Arabia, where this Sunday we'll see the final of the Esports World Cup. It's been billed as the largest ever event in gaming and esports, and it's hosted in the Saudi capital, Riyadh. It's been going for an incredible 8 weeks with a prize pool of $60 million, but the event has been boycotted by some gamers over Saudi's poor human.
That is insane. $60 million. Oh my God.
Rights record. Joining me now is Rod.
That's like $5 for them.
Breslau, who is a gaming insider and esports consultant. Hello, Rod. Welcome to the program. This boycott, then, is it hurting the event?
Hey, thanks for having me. Overall, I would say, like, personally for myself, I have not been watching. I have not been covering it. Many of my colleagues refuse to work the event, whether as a host or as a commentator. Many others, including other journalists, have refused to write about it and to report on it. I would say that there has been a good amount of backlash within especially the Western world, especially with the human rights record that you mentioned in terms of not.
Can we get a list of all the streamers that co-streamed it or were involved? I think that what you're going to see happen is that as you see more and more people that are like taking money and doing this, like this is going to be something that doesn't happen overnight. It's something that's going to happen over the course of 15 years. So in the course of 15 years, you're seeing the guys now who are obviously coming into it, and that, like, and by the way, like, I don't really know clicks. Like, I don't know clicks, but everybody else here, I would say I'm friendly with, and I like them. Actually, I don't really know T1, but I like T1. I don't really know him. But otherwise, like, I like these guys, so I'm not. Yeah. By the way, yeah, I like NMP. Big surprise, right? And so. I'm not calling these guys out, but what I'm saying is that when you have a bunch of big streamers and a bunch of people that are promoting this massively, I'm actually really curious to see how many people watch this. I want to know what the real numbers are. Because, like, we can talk about journalists not covering it, but how much is that? It's fair to say that they're morally bankrupt for the sponsorship deal, the guy hosting the event, or the assassination of a Washington Post journalist, according to the fucking CIA. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll watch the rest of it.
Watching this event, overall, it doesn't seem like the boycott has worked as much. The viewership has still been pretty good. The online engagement has still been pretty good. I believe the Saudis probably see it as a overall success so far, even with
anything in, like, if I was them, anything that's not a huge failure would be a huge success. Because this is such a hard sell to kind of soft launch this into the West, considering the values clash, that I would consider it a huge success. I didn't even know there was a boycott. Yeah. The Saudis took your Twin Towers. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. And I was confused why we started bombing Afghanistan. I was confused. Like, why? Yeah, I was like, what's... Wait a minute, right? But I don't know whether that happened or not. As I said, bro, the best guild name I've ever heard. Why did Bush do it?
The pushback from the Western world.
It does. It all comes down to money, essentially. I mean, why else would you go to Saudi Arabia? Did esports need the money?
The
esports absolutely needs the money. That's why they're leaning on gambling, and they're leaning on every single other type. Like, the reason why esports doesn't advertise porn directly is because the publishers of the games can exercise morality clauses to prevent people from taking certain types of sponsorships. Esports are broke because nobody's watching them. That's the reality. And the truth is that Western audiences, I actually don't know if Saudi Arabia is making a great decision, because it seems like Western audiences aren't really that supportive of esports in the same way that South American audiences, Asian audiences, at least some European audiences, and like Spanish audiences, these guys are crazy. Like in Middle Eastern audiences, like they're so supportive. Like anytime I get linked in like a top 10 streamers, and like there's a Spanish guy that's not number one, all the comments are about how the Spanish guy should be number one. And whoever is number one actually sucks. Yeah, that's just how it is. They're so supportive.
And even the larger gaming world has been going through some tough times in the last couple of years in terms of the financial situation.
It's gone through a complete crash of monetization. As somebody who runs... You know, I don't run, to be honest. I really don't. But I oversee, and I'm an owner of companies that deal with this. There has been a tremendous recession in the amount of money that has been invested into gaming in the past 2 years. Tremendous recession. Massive. Why? Because, so basically, when you spend $100 and you want to market something, the idea is that you're going to make $110. But if you spend $100 and you make $31, COVID is not the full answer. I understand a lot of you guys like to talk about COVID. COVID was a multiplier for the values, but the values were still at a ratio that was similar. Now, this is an interesting component, and it's a psychological phenomenon that I actually didn't believe until I researched it myself. But entertainment spending actually goes up inside of recessions and other points of economic problematic, like, disparities, right? It actually goes up. So you could make that argument abstractly for COVID being a reason why values were going up. But if you even look at 2018 and 2019, pre-COVID, and I would say the last 2 or 3 months of 19 were probably COVID even then, right? Or at least with it beginning. The values and the amount of investment that people were putting into esports was going up. It was going up, 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 up. Now, COVID made it go like this, but it was still going like this. Whereas now it's going like not very, very well. And also, I think that this is another really big component to it, that this is something that's a phenomenon that's primarily in the West. Because Eastern audiences are much more supportive of esports than we are. I think that for Americans, one of the reasons why esports don't catch on as much is because America has such an entrenched sports culture already that market share is already taken up by sports, and people don't perceive esports as being equivalent to sports. That's one big reason why I think it's a hard sell in America. However, other places in the world love soccer. Like, well, they love football. And so, like, they love that more than we love any of our one sports, but we have so many sports, and it's so much of the marketplace of entertainment inside of America that I just think that it's there's like not enough market share for esports to exist in there.
terms of how organizations and teams make money. But I wouldn't say this was completely necessary. There was just so overwhelmingly so much financial compensation and money injected from the Saudis that it was unable for the Western world really to turn this down. The game.
Well, it's like, why would they? Somebody says NMP peaked with 19K viewers, 15K average, and 116 new followers. It was a positive stream for him, and for most co-streams, viewers do not care. And this is really what the problem is that I don't actually think that viewers care about human rights. I don't. I think that there are outspoken viewers that care about it, but collectively, I don't think that this will indicate, like, I think that content is above everything else. That's why the Roman Colosseum, like, there weren't a lot of human rights, or let's say that, like, if you want to talk about human rights violations, I think if you look at the Roman Colosseum, we had a lot of those, right? You know, like, because people died. But, you know, sports washing works. Well, it's not that sports washing works, it's that the sports washing isn't even entirely necessary. It's that people don't really care about these things at all, other than being seen as a person who cares about them. So when it comes to actually consuming content and doing something that is entertainment-based, people will choose what is the most entertaining and what they get the most value out of, rather than what's in line with what their morality is. Now, this isn't everybody. Obviously, there are going to be people that forego this for different reasons. Some people, in fact, for example, maybe they're just lazy. Other people, maybe they do have stronger moral convictions and they do care about it more than other people. But the majority of people don't care about it. And I think this is indicated by every single point on the graph of human behavior. The World Cup in Qatar, yeah, shows that people don't give a fuck about human rights. Exactly, right? And viewers care about being able to say, I was there. Exactly. There's recent reports Saudis are trying to buy tons of unsalted peanuts and hard-boiled eggs to make a crow army. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. And in my opinion, a lot of people have like a lot of... I think that the issue with like the Middle East versus like China, for example, or I think China is probably the best example, is that what the Middle East is against are things that are, and they are very openly against things that are extremely like politically divisive and socially politically divisive, in a way that like they're against gay people. And like here, you can't be against gay people. But like China has a little bit different censorship, and that censorship isn't as antithetical to like the virtue culture, like the cultural virtues that we have, right? And I think that's why people have, I think, a double standard. There is clearly a double standard here. You're saying most people in the world don't care about human rights? I want to make it so clear that nobody can misunderstand this. If you could sell the soul of a person on the other side of the world for $50, I bet most people would do it enough times to become a millionaire. If you could push a button to kill somebody on the other side of the world that would give you $1,000, I think people would smash the fuck out of it. I don't think they give a fuck about human rights. I don't think they care about it even in the slightest. And whenever I say they, I'm not talking about you, the unique moral crusader who's completely morally good and you always do the right thing. I'm talking about human beings as a collective. And I think that this is proven over and over and over. And I understand that this is a Joker speech, but keep in mind that this was a cartoon. And in a lot of cases, the Joker, in fact, wins in real life. That's such a crazy thing to say. It is. I know. I know that it's crazy, but in a world that's spinning, when you stop spinning, you're the one who looks dizzy. I'm not crazy. I'm not the person who's delusional. I see this and I look at it every single fucking time. I see it happen every single fucking time. And I think this is just a pattern that's so universal that it's completely insurmountable. And I think that I realized this, like, I had my own reality check with this with gambling. I did. Because I'm very anti-gambling. I really don't like gambling. Saudi Arabians agree with me in this fact. I don't like gambling at all. And I pushed to get gambling removed. And I learned that my opinion doesn't matter. Nobody cares. That's it. And anti-gambling, I'm anti-gambling and gotcha. What about stock trading? Stock trading is not the same as playing a slot machine. That's an oversimplification that any stupid person would think is funny for 3 seconds, but anybody who thinks about it longer than that would realize that it's stupid. That's why tweets like that get very popular on Twitter, but anywhere else they are immediately looked at as being stupid. So yes, people did not listen to me. I have learned that my morality and what I think is the right thing to do is not relevant to anybody else. It's just simply not. And I've tried to make it relevant to other people, and they've hated me for it. And then I looked at it from their perspective, and I realized that I could see why they felt that way. Because when people try to make their moral problems relevant to me, I hate them for that too. And so I do think that this is true. I don't think that people fundamentally care about human rights at all. In fact, I don't even think they're real. Nobody does, by the way. Every single government that has a list of human rights violates them all the time for the people that they just don't like enough. That's the real truth. It's all fake. Because we're monkeys. Do you believe in constitutional rights? Of course, I believe in all of them. Absolutely, I believe in them. But I just know that these are... I know that it is a belief. Does that make sense? It's a belief in an ideal. And it's not backed up by any... There's no gold standard for this. It's fiat currency. Is what I'm trying to get at. And so, yes, I think this is what is only going to continue. It's not the law of nature. Yes. They're abstract concepts, yes. It's a belief, not a fact, correct? Yes. Gambling still exists on Twitch, and sports betting is pushed heavily. Yes, you're absolutely right. And so, and this is a funny thing, is that I think slots is a lot worse than sports betting. Like, I do. I think it's worse. However, more people destroy their lives over sports betting than slots. Believe, not fact? Yep, there we go. Humans been conquering each other for as long as they've been alive. Yep. What I'm aware about, some people don't care about almost anything because they want to simulate their dopamine. Somehow reminds me of Don't Look Up and Idiocracy. It's not like, I mean, all right, let me just go back, because I have so much to say about this. I'm so opinionated about this. By the way, this stream is brought to you by DraftKings. There is a good chance that you guys will get an advertisement for DraftKings by watching my stream talking about how much I don't like gambling. Because Twitch and Amazon has a partnership with DraftKings. So whether I like it or not, I am advertising gambling. I am advertising something that will literally kill people. Fuck. I need to call up my guy and start investing in the funeral homes. In the coffins. Yeah. Death too far? No, people kill themselves over gambling all the time. This is what people do, right? Is they gamble, they chase losses, they run out of money, they run out of chances, they run out of options, they're at a dead end, and they kill themselves. That's the way it is, right? It's like you basically run out of lives in Mario. And then they shoot themselves or cut their wrists or something like that, right? Or overdose on drugs. Like, that's just how it is. Yeah, I mean that's what gambling does. Like, I mean, facts of life. Sad but true, yeah. I wonder how many people have killed themselves as an outcome of watching an advertisement on my stream for DraftKings or other types of gambling. I wonder what the number for that is. 0? But for how long? That's an interesting question, isn't it? If you love natural selection, why are you against gambling? I'm against manipulative behavior that is malicious. And I believe it to be manipulative and malicious. So that's the reason why. It's unnatural.
Publishers and the game developers
Let me
make
go
these
back just real quick.
money injected from the Saudis that
Big
it was
money.
unable
Big money.
for
Crazy
the
money.
really to turn this down. The game publishers and the game developers who make these video games and who own the IPs
That's right.
could have said no. They could have refused to work with the Saudis. They could have refused them to be able to...
Right. Like Riot, for example, that's owned 100% by Tencent, which is a Chinese company, which all Chinese companies require an agent or a connection with the Chinese government. Right. And China's perspective on this is totally... Oh, wow. What a surprise that they're not okay with... Why would these companies... Oh, geez.
to use their games in this tournament, but they relented. And ultimately, they are the ones that are in control of this entire ecosystem. If the game publishers did not want this partnership to happen, they had the opportunity to do so, but they went...
They really don't. Like, I disagree with Slasher about this, because if Saudi Arabia and these different countries wanted to do it, and they told Saudi Arabia no, and Saudi Arabia just did it anyway, then what? Like, then what? It's like they can't really do anything, right? I mean, it's just a company. Yeah, it was worse retaliation. Yeah, like, there's no, you can't stop them from doing it. They can cry, sanctions exist. You think the government is going to go... Do you think the American public is going to want to push a sanction on a company because they don't want... on an entire country? Because the intellectual property of a video game is being... This is like such an like, that's crazy that you think nobody is going to support that. Nobody actually cares about that. Yeah, we're going to go to World War III over FIFA and League of Legends? Like, absolutely, nobody cares.
Went ahead and they took the
sanctioning
finance.
Saudi Arabia.
You did just very quickly say the entire ecosystem. Are you saying that Saudi Arabia has more control over the esports industry, not just this event?
Yes, they most recently bought the ESL Face It group for $1 billion.
That's for ESL Face It is for Counter-Strike.
They have a general monopoly over many of the video games that are played in the esports ecosystem, and they launched this...
Excuse me, I didn't know this. It's also for Dota. I didn't know that.
...system, and they launched this event as well. So while you see in golf, they have created the LIV Tour, and in Formula One, they're investing in certain races. Here...
And you can see Pepsi and these other sponsors that are... This is clever, by the way. That are all supporting this and putting their money into this. It's because these companies don't really care about any of these human rights. They don't care about any of these Western values. They only care about money. They exist to make money.
In esports, it would be like if they bought the PGA Tour, if they had bought almost like half the Formula One races. The investment that the Saudis are putting into esports and video games is far greater than what they are doing in golf and in wrestling and in racing. So
that's because it's a smaller economy and they can monopolize it more easily. And I think they're making a really good decision. If I were the Saudi Arabians, I would be doing this too. Because it seems like they're concerning themselves, and I think the prince and like the guys that are running the country are actually pretty smart. It seems like they are, right? Because like obviously oil isn't going to last forever, because different types of energy are going to be discovered and created just over time, no matter what, even if you don't run out of oil. And they need to have an economy that will last in 250 years. Like that's the reason why. Is they're trying to build an like an entertainment economy that will transcend their natural resources. I think I really think that they know what they're doing. MBS is crazy smart and evil, sadly. Oh, is that the main guy? Yeah, yeah. I mean, these guys, and this is another big mistake that I see a lot of people make. They think these guys are stupid. The guys over that are running shit in China and that are running shit in Saudi Arabia and Dubai and Qatar, these guys they're smart guys. Their parents probably spent a good amount of time with them. They learned a lot from their parents, who are also smart. They went to the best schools. They were sent to the best universities in the world. They were, educated in the best ways and had every opportunity in the world. Nepo babies? Yes, they're Nepo babies, but they also start with a high amount of talent points as well, right? They do. Absolutely. And so, power equals smart. I would say that in general, intelligence, there's a lot of different types of intelligence, right? And I think that some intelligence is hereditary. I think some is inheritable, but not necessarily hereditary. I think that there's also types of intelligence that is just kind of, you can learn. But I'm saying that a lot of these guys, they're at the top of the decision-making categories, because there's a lot of people, I bet there's guys in the Saudi royal family who are dumbasses. And you know what they do? They buy Lamborghinis and they drive them into a building, and then they buy another Lamborghini the next day, and that's their life. That's what they do. And, if that's Ahmed, right? Ahmed loves doing that, and that's great. Good for him. He's happy. And so you're not having all of them make decisions. You're having the ones that are smart making the fucking decisions. Because it's the same, look at Peaky Blinders. Who's making, Thomas Shelby's making the fucking decisions. They're not all three sitting around oh yeah, what are we gonna do? He's figuring shit out, and they're like, yeah, it's probably a good idea. Let's go with Tom. Yeah, let's go with Tommy. He knows what he's doing. So yes, this is the way it is with everything. It's the same as it was back in the Middle Ages. You think that there's 8 kids, and then they're all gonna sit down and be like, what are we gonna do? No. The odds are there's probably 2 of them that think that they're smart. One of them kills each other. And then the other 7 or 6 are all right, he does pretty much know it better than me. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll listen to my brother. He knows what he's doing. That's it. Yeah, of course, that's the way it happens. Duh. Fucking duh. What do you expect? Right in the coattails? Yeah. And it happens here in the US too. It's here's a good example. Trump has a bunch of different kids. Do all of his kids come up and start talking? No. Only 2 of them do. And do you want to know the reason why? Is because probably a lot of the other ones are dumb. That's it. Yeah, or smart. Yeah, or smart. Who knows? Right, Barons? Yeah. Or smart. They don't want to do it.
What they're doing here is much worse off in terms of what's happening.
Okay, Rob, we just ran out of time. Rod Breslow, thank you very much.
Oh, we cut them off. They cut the tapes. Yep, there we go. Let me see if I can find out any more information about this too. Give me a second. Saudi Arabia World Esports Controversy. See if I can find a bit more about this. There's 2 more. Oh. So fucking funny. Oh my god. I remember watching this. I saw this clip, bro. This shit is so good. I've seen it. Sorry.
I would be honored to invite you to the stage.
I guarantee you, by the way, that they didn't tell him he had to do this. He's just doing this because he's farming. He's just farming. And people are so mad. It's so fucking funny. Watch.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Oh, there he is. Oh my god, there he is.
Please welcome to the stage your club winners. It's Team Falcons. General Director Mohammed Al Materi, Global Esports Director Grant Rousseau, and CEO Masad Al Dossari.
I wonder which is his favorite game.
Doesn't the Saudi Arabian prince have a public profile on Steam, and his profile picture is a anime girl? Yeah. Nekapara? Oh god.
That guy almost tripped.
Yeah, he did. Man, amazing. His favorite game is Dota 2 and he spends millions on compendiums. Good for him, man. Good for him. Oh my fucking god. And so, yeah, I get this guy's referencing. No, there were a lot of people that were unhappy about it, and they were really, really pissed. And it's been crazy for me to see this happen, because I think it's just going to keep becoming more and more relevant. It's going to be becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And I saw that the Saudi Arabian takeover of esports continues. And you remember with all the people that were really angry about this whenever it came out. They were really mad whenever it got announced and all of these people were talking about it. But is the actual viewership being affected? It seems as though it's not.
Is Saudi Arabia using the Esports World Cup to sports wash? Sports washing, by definition, is the practice of nations or governments using sports to improve reputations tarnished by wrongdoing. I'm not
absolutely
stating an opinion here. I'm just being the messenger because I did read some comments about our last Esports World Cup videos.
That's not the only reason, but that's absolutely they're doing that.
Of people saying that Saudi Arabia is using this World Cup as a sports washing technique. But since I've seen several comments, I figured I'd open up the floodgates and see if any of you have any opinions you want to share in the comments.
Okay. I thought this was going to be somebody. Yeah. I'll see if there's any more about this. Money for silence. Yep. Tyler 1 went to the Saudi Esports Cup. Yep. There we go. Esports takeover. Oh, yep. It's becoming big, guys. Massive. They're trying to fix your image for a long time. Yeah, I know, you typed it like 50 times, bro. Like, they made 2 of the biggest football clubs play in Saudi Arabia, but fans used Ataturk's flag before the game. The guy abolished the caliphate, and every religious thing related to the Ottoman Empire was a huge drama that didn't change the Saudi image. I don't know what the fuck. Like, that's some... Like, listen, like, Ottoman Empire... Like, this is some fucking, like, 300-year-old drama with, like, the Constantinople. Like, I mean, are they still mad about this? I don't know why they're, like, 1800 shit, yes. Like, I don't know. 300? Well, I feel like, Ottoman Empire is, like, what, like, 500 years ago? Like, I mean, it went on for hundreds of years, but, like, it started, like, I'd say, like, what, 600-700 years ago? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 1400s. Ended 1970. Yeah, I think it was somewhere around there. It ended after World War I. Yeah, because that was after they changed, like, the names of a lot of the countries there and everything. Fuck. That's actually, to be fair, that's fucking crazy. That is insane. Ottoman Empire officially ended in 1923. Yeah, that is crazy. Ottoman started in the 1300s. Well, you've got to remember, like, they took Constantinople in mid-1400s. That was 1452 or 53 when they took it over. And so, but, like, at that point, right, the guy that took it over was the son of another guy who was also the king. And, like, this has happened. So, like, at that point, they were already cooking. They were all, like, this was, like, it's not like this is, like, their first, you know, they were just trying to show up and show out. Right? They had been cooking for a while. So that's what I was saying. I think it was there. Followed Byzantine? Yeah, which was the Holy Roman Empire. There it is. No, I've spent some time. Look, I grew up playing Age of Empires too, okay? I'm not a wizard or an expert or anything like that, but you know, not just Roman, not Holy. Holy Roman Empire is Germany. The guy that lost the Byzantine Empire was, I don't know, the Roman Empire is not the Holy Roman Empire? That's why I fucking said the difference. I literally fucking said that. Everybody... Okay, look, let's move on. It's after. It's way after. Germany, maybe. Yes, there you go. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Hello? Hey.
99. Ended in 1923.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like 700 years.
Huh?
So it's like 700 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do the math on that.
Something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but that, you know, that's right before the 1300s.
Yeah, so like by the time they took over Constantinople, it had been like 7 generations, which is what I was saying. I was right.
Wait a minute, I got a bad ear. What? Tell me again.
Well, they took over Constantinople in 1450s, and so this was like this is like way later on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And then it ended with the Turkish War of Independence, which was I think it was 1940. No, wait a minute. Abolition of the empire, monarchy, 1922.
Yeah.
So that's the, you know, yeah.
All right.
Really interesting history there.
No, it is. It's been going on for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, what a bunch of nice guys.
Still bringing it up. All right. Yeah. I'll talk to you later.
All right, yo.
All right, yo. Bye.
Yo, bye-bye.
Yeah, my dad, he knows a lot. He knows more of that shit than I do. And so, yeah. There it is. And live community note. Yeah, something like that, right? No, yeah. He knows quite a bit. And what's this? Saudi Arabian prince has the highest Steam account level. His name is Stick. The Saudi Arabian prince has the highest Steam account level. I'm not surprised. But yeah, Saudi Arabian influence is going to become even bigger and bigger. I'll watch a video about it, and I'll talk about how this is going to happen. And also, this is like my take on it, because like I find this to be incredibly interesting, because I think that Saudi Arabia is absolutely trying to like change their image. But I think that in trying to change their image, they will succeed in changing their image. And I think that it will shift their society. I think it will. I think in 50 years, we'll see a very different Saudi Arabia than what we see now. And we will change too. Yeah, we will. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I'll be right back. I think it's very interesting. It is. So, apparently obese is a slur now, which is crazy. I didn't even know that.
Alright, so our next patient. Oh, hey, Susan. What appears to be the, problem? Hey there, doctor, mate. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Susan? Doctor, I'm gonna be honest, mate. Not too great. I feel a lot of chest pain, right? And my knees hurt when I walk. Yeah. Okay, well, Susan, the problem with... But that's not all, doctor. Yeah. I run out of breath really easily, and I just feel tired all the time. Yeah, Susan, I think I might know what the problem you're having is. And every doctor I've gone to about this problem has just been really fat-phobic. Always making comments about my weight and my diet, and it's just really insulting. Susan, I think they might be... No, I might be a bit... plus size, but it's got nothing to do with my health. I don't know why they keep bringing it up. One doctor even called me the slur obese. Excuse my language. Wait, the slur obese? What do you mean? What do you mean slur? God, they're all so bigoted and closed-minded. Doctor, I just want a solution to my problem. Can you help me out, please, mate? Yo, you're joking, right?
So.
Hello, lady.
You want to know another example of this, how this has already happened, is retarded. So retarded used to be the word that you would use as the euphemism for a word that was worse. But now we don't use, now retarded is seen as the bad word, and people are using neurodivergent instead. Now, guys, I think that if you are using a word that is supposed to mean a lack of mental acuity or awareness or some variation of that, and you're using it in a derogatory way, it doesn't matter what word you're using. That's what I think. I think that people are just looking for a new way to complain about something stupid. The Linus word? Oh, the hard R. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, Starlight, and Huey. Welcome back to the channel. Or if this just so happens to be your first time here, then I'm not even gonna say it. Okay, you know.
I've never seen this.
You know.
I've never,
And
I've
before
never seen this channel
people
before.
go in the comments and say, "Oh, you sound so different. Why do you sound so different?" It's because I got braces, I got grills. Okay, that's why I low-key have a little bit of a lisp. All right, some words.
I had braces whenever I was a kid, from like 8th grade to like 10th grade.
Still kind of hard to pronounce, but to be fair, most of it is faded by now. But it's still
That
there.
way, when my teeth fell out a few years later, they fell straight out rather than on an angle.
Just by a tiny little bit. And if you say you can't hear a difference, then I'm gonna give you flowers, okay? I'm gonna give you roses and dandelions. I was supposed to take a 2-week break off YouTube so my speech could recover, but I had to make this video. This is just
Obese
retarded.
is a
Now,
slur.
before I go on and on and on, let me just
You
preface
want to know
this
what
by-
I fucking think is funny about this? Is the fact that even this person, like, you don't even have a picture of a fat chick as your profile. Like, you don't want to be that. But you don't even want to pretend to be fat on the internet. Y'all see this?
by saying, I don't have a problem when people complain on the internet. Honestly, I don't.
I love
I'm doing it right now. If someone wants to sit down and complain about something, then honestly, I think that's perfectly...
This guy, man. Do you remember whenever this guy, he got caught talking to like a white girl at a fucking, Dr. Umar? Yeah, he got caught talking to a white girl at like a mall or something like that. It was so fucking funny, man. Was that an airport? Yeah.
Fine. Sometimes it's funny, constructive, and actually entertaining. It only becomes a problem when you're crying and whining about something which you yourself can control. It's one thing if I complain about Cocoa Pops tasting like shit because they took the sugar out. I don't know why they did that. But it's different if I'm the CEO of Cocoa Pops complaining about the same thing. Like, do you not see how stupid that would be? You fucking made it, you twat. And similar to that, if you complain about getting made fun of on the internet while you simultaneously...
Oh my fucking god! Who are these people? This is why we used to have those places that you would put them in.
Act like a retard on the internet, you're a fucking idiot. I don't feel like I'm breaking new grounds here. This shit should be obvious. In conclusion, don't complain about things which you can solve through your own actions, okay?
Yep.
I thought this would be common sense by now, but clearly the internet has reduced all of our IQs by at least 200. And for some reason, I don't feel like it's gonna get any better anytime soon.
It won't.
But easily one of the dumbest communities on the internet is the fucking body positivity, fat liberation, body diversity, plus size, literally every single other word under the sun other than what they actually are. Obese. You are obese, okay? You're not body liberated, you're not plus size, a fucking large
Well, they
coat.
are liberated. They're liberated from being able to fly in an airplane.
At KFC as plus size. You're just fucking obese, man. You can call it whatever you want. It is not gonna change that fact. We've been over this several
Jesus
times.
Christ. Bro, this guy's farming them.
And like I've said in those previous
Yeah, they're gonna die of old age at 35. Yeah, guys, I've only got a year left.
several times, no one cares that you're obese. If you want to sit down and eat pizza and ice cream all day, go ahead,
Yeah, do whatever
okay?
you
We
want.
don't care. People only start making fun of you when you complain about being overweight. You can't cry and whine about
The
thin
U.S. hates fat people. I bet they do.
privilege when you sit down and eat enough food to feed a family of 4.
Oh my
These people are
God.
so fucking tone deaf it hurts to watch. I've literally seen some accounts on TikTok where they'll go, oh my god, my jeans won't fit, they need to make bigger jeans, and then they'll
Somebody gets too fat for their clothes and they start blaming the store. Who does What the fuck? Wasting food equals terrorism? I mean, for them, I think they believe it.
Simultaneously post what I eat in a day, and it's the
I
what?
love my favorite part about this, bro. Like, look what it went and said. Donut number 1. It's not donut, it's only donut number 1. What? How many?
What I eat in a day, and it's the worst food
Oh my
ever. Like, the
God.
solution to your problem is right there.
French fries and an impossible cheeseburger.
It's on your account, you fucking wanker. But the worst thing these people do is that they'll genuinely convince themselves that there's nothing wrong with being obese.
I don't think this is that big of a problem, because I think that this is... I'm an asshole. Everybody knows this. It's natural selection. That's what happens. And if you believe this, it is. And if you think this is what's going to happen, go ahead and believe in it. Delulu, yeah, there it is. Yeah, this problem solves itself. I wish they died younger, wasting resources. You need to stop thinking that. That's a horrible thing for you to think. Because when they die younger, they actually use less resources. So it's actually not a bad thing, because so basically the way that a lot of medical expenses are incurred within like the last year, or really even the last 3 to 1 month of life. So if somebody lives fast and dies hard at 700 pounds at the ripe old age of 29, we saved a lot of money. We did. And so, no, I'm not really going to feel bad about this. No, don't, hey, listen. Just, you got to think about the math.
We need to go over why that just doesn't make any sense. I've done it before, so I don't think I need to, but I will say that looking like this will, and is going to kill you. Yeah. And is 100% going to cause you health issues down the line. Like heart problems, kidney problems, joint problems, bone problems. Do I even need to go on? Yeah. I mean, that short list is bad enough, but the full one is pretty fucking bad. Now, I'm not saying that people who aren't fat don't have these problems, but I am saying that if you are fat...
I think here's the problem. This is why everybody fucking gets annoyed by this shit. It's not that... Because, like, there are people... Like, here's the thing. Some people treat their body like a temple. I treat mine like a zoo. I eat fast food every day. I drink soda constantly. I live like an absolute fucking animal. And you know what I don't do? I don't say, hey, guys, this is normal. Oh, this is normal. Wow, guys, it's normal. This is just me being normal. Wow, look how normal I am, guys. Fuck out of here. It's insane. That's the reason why people are fucking annoyed. It's not that it's happening. It's that you're trying to tell us it's fucking normal. And I think that's unhealthy. Because young girls see that and they're like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not.
You are much more likely to have these problems. That's not me being fat phobic. That's me using what they taught me back in primary school. Children know this. Most people know this. Even you fat people know this. That's why they love the delusion of fat just being a body type. To which it's not.
Well, it is a body type. Fentanyl is a type of substance. And you know what else is another type of substance? Lettuce. So fentanyl and lettuce are both substances. So what's the difference? Body type C? No, this is body type O.
It comes with many different issues, but yeah, all right. They go as far as to call people fat phobes, which is a pretty rational fear from. They go as far as to.
I want to address an argument that's really starting to piss me off.
Call people fat phobes, which
fat phobia is not oppression because fat people can just lose weight. I like how she puts F at T. Do you have a take on why it's only fat women? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. The reason why fat women are trying to push this is because they're trying to normalize their lifestyle. And fat guys don't have the same type of... like, so as a guy, your appearance is like 40% of why a girl is going to pick you. And I mean, it's general, right? I mean, but for me, it's 39. Shut the fuck up. Just think about what I'm trying to say. It's like 40%, but like as a girl, it's closer to like 60, 70, or 80%. So girls want to normalize being overweight and make being overweight normal. And also this is another, well, you could say it's hogwash. The belief that back in the day, being fat was considered attractive. This is only true if you take away all of the context to it. The reason why being fat was considered attractive back in the 1700s, for example, is because it was an indicator of wealth. And the wealth was what was attractive. Being fat was just an indicator of it. A lot of people don't know that in medieval times. Yes, exactly. And also, there are plenty of people that like fat chicks. Like, this is obvious. We all know this. So it's not like nobody likes them, but the reason why it's girls is because girls are the ones that want to normalize it because guys don't want to date them. So they're trying to change the way that society sees being overweight, so it's easier for them to get a boyfriend, right? That's basically it.
It's a pretty rational fear, if I'm being honest. No one in their right mind would want to look like this. Absolutely fucking no one. It's just in recent times, there's
plenty of people that do. They're feeders, and there's like feedies. There's like, there's even a breed of that where the sexual satisfaction comes from feeding somebody to the point of death. It's called death feederism if you want to look it up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a whole iceberg of this. It's more like an anchor, but
weird push into glorifying this stuff. The silly, health it all size, my body is beautiful dog shit that no one actually believes has, for some reason, become a main statement in today's modern media. And it just keeps getting worse.
Well, the problem is that, like, people took it way too far. Like, for a long time, there was this idea that you had to be, like, 120 pounds as a woman. And like, you know, it was, like, based off of, like, Victoria's Secret models, which is, like, in my opinion, I don't really find a lot of those girls particularly attractive, right? That's not, like, my preferred body type. But, and, like, if I think about, like, what are the characters in WoW that look like that? They look like the Nightfallen characters in, what was it? The middle area in Legion. And they look like the Nightfallen people before they got the mana. Then Suramar, yeah, like the withered. That's the way they look to me. They look like Victoria's Secret models. And so, yeah, I think they look awful. And so a lot of that was like a trend away from like that beauty standard. But the problem is that it's gone too far in the other direction.
Have the word obese trending on Twitter or X. Or whatever the fuck people call it nowadays, I don't care. Now, to everyone who actually enjoys their life and doesn't use Twitter, you're probably wondering, why was the word obese trending? Well, now the word obese, the medical term obese, is considered a slur. Yes. Obese is
Oh, she's fat. Yeah, what do you expect? And she's blaming Elon Musk. Where literal slurs are allowed to trend. In Asian countries, the women there are rarely obese. I don't know. I mean, that's what I hear, but I've never been there.
Considered a slur. Yes.
Yeah.
A slur. The word should now be censored and treated
I
like
want to read this. Hold up. Let me read this.
A slur. The word...
Oh, no. Mercedes claims that obesity is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor, fat people, and offers a fat ode to care that students are instructed to analyze, taking note of which sections most resonate for you. How much do you guys want to bet that the person who said that originally has a job at a company that is not... it is not crucial for that company to produce its product. They have a non-essential job. Yeah, I think this is 100% chance. Yeah. Does that have to be satire? No, it's not.
The word should now be censored
some of them
and
probably
treated
are,
like
right?
the N-word. Honestly, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Even though I have zero
It's pretty much the
expectations
same
of
thing.
anyone on the internet,
Yeah,
I'm
guys.
still somehow disappointed.
I can always identify someone who doesn't have a great grasp on history if they see medicalization as a stamp of inherent virtue. This comes up a lot when I talk about how the word obese is a slur. At least one person will always pop their head out of the ground to say, obese is a medical term.
But it quite literally is. It says it right here. It's a medical condition that people can get diagnosed with.
As if that somehow makes it better.
No, that would just not make it a slur. It would make it a medical condition.
You know what else used to be a medical term? Like a lot of bad shit we don't say anymore. Because we realized it was stigmatizing as fuck and it actively harmed people.
You know what else actively harms people?
Well, here's the thing, is that if we change the word obese to being something else, like, I don't know, you can come up with any word, right? It doesn't really matter. People will turn that word into a slur. And the examples of words that were used back in the day as medical distinctions that turned into slurs, the only ones that we really don't use anymore are the ones that were racially, racially motivated, like mongoloid or something like that. We don't use that word anymore because that's a racially charged word. It's a bad thing to say. You don't say that. And so at least, like, you know, most people don't say it. It's been changed. Autism, right, exactly. And so there are other examples of this, but I think that's probably the best one. Maybe retard, yeah.
People, obesity. You fucking twat. And unlike words, obesity actually harms people on a biological level. And even if you call it something else like round or big-bodied or morbidly obtuse, it's not gonna change the fucking issue. Because it's
people
not
are just gonna use whatever word that you use as an insult. It doesn't matter. It's like you're just moving the goalposts and obfuscating things so you can make it seem like people can't say what your lifestyle is bad. That's the only thing they're doing.
derogatory term. It's a health problem. People are still gonna suffer from obesity whether you call it obesity or not. My God.
Well, I would expect, actually, if you keep changing the name of it, that, you know, it actually becomes harder for people to deal with. Right? I mean, like, think about, for example, like, how many times they've changed, like, PTSD wasn't originally called PTSD. You know, they used to call it in World War I shell shock. And I think that, like, the constant changing of that term, this is a George Carlin thing, right? Is that the constant changing of that term was done, and I think it did a disservice to veterans, because it was like you're resetting the awareness of the issue.
Never thought I'd ever have to explain that.
Science and language are both constantly evolving and updating. The medical establishment is not exempt from this.
Well, science isn't necessarily updating. Our understanding of science is updating. These are two very different things.
If anything, it's actually a particularly strong example of how this happens. We don't need to look too far back into history at all to see how medical terminology and practices change.
Yeah, well, that's due to a little known fact called technology. The reason why medical practices change is
because something else, well,
due to technological advances.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have technology to pinpoint each medical issue. But now...
No, that's not even the reason. The real reason why it's changed is because the better, more effective solution was discovered. That's the reason why it gets changed. So it's like, yeah, this is really bad. Okay, maybe we should wash our hands, because we've done testing and we have done experimentation that has led us to this conclusion.
We do, and with that knowledge, we can tell that being morbidly obese is not good for you.
Yeah.
For example, homosexuality is no longer diagnosed as a mental illness. Female hysteria is not something that's diagnosed anymore.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Ah, yes. Two psychological thought processes which don't inherently kill you. You know, guys, I think I'm starting to see the relation between that and having plaque literally cover your organs. Yeah, they're definitely the same thing.
Cocaine and heroin are no longer prescribed as anesthetics or cough suppressants. Lysol cleaning spray is no longer used as a douche. We don't perform ice pick lobotomies anymore. And doctors no longer advocate for the health benefits of smoking cigarettes. Oops.
You know, it's almost
That's because every single one of those circumstances, there was testing, experimentation, and peer-reviewed research that arrived at the conclusion that these things were bad. That's why they were changed. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
like there's a way for doctors to tell if there's something biologically harmful to you.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can still do that. Oh well, I guess not. Is her argument here that science is just outdated and that there's nothing unhealthy about being overweight? Because if that's the case, then she'd be wrong. The same.
Well, I mean, these are the people, like, you can't expect somebody like this. Like, here's the thing. I remember back whenever I was in school, and there were a lot of girls in the school, and guys too. It's not really a girl thing. They just dumb as fuck. Like, they're not going to understand a periodic table. They don't know what gravity is. They don't know how to do multiplication. This person is like, you know, 150 years ago, 1,500 years ago, this person would be perfect for taking big rocks and turning them into little rocks with a big rock. They would be great for this. But now society has evolved in a way that this person has no outlet. So what do? They make videos justifying being fat on TikTok. That's the next best thing.
We know smoking cigarettes is bad is the same way that we know overeating is bad.
Yeah.
You'd expect a fully grown adult to know this.
It's crazy.
More importantly, when a marginalized group tells you that a word or practice harms them, you can just go ahead and believe them.
Oh, God.
No. Well, I'm not going to allow somebody to dictate what I think. So because you're fat, I have to listen to you? Nope. Nope. I don't think so. It's just about it.
I love alcohol. I love me some alcohol. Listen, buddy, I'm glad to have you at the bar and all, but I think you've had too much. I think you might be an alcoholic. Hey, you can't say that word. That word is a slur. I don't appreciate that word. That word is very harmful. Listen, I'm sorry, man. I know the word alcoholic might be harsh, but this is your 13th drink. I think you might have had too many. No! No, I fucking haven't. You know what? I'm sick and tired of people using that derogatory term against me. I don't think you understand just how harmful that word is to me. So pour me another fucking pint or else I'm gonna put my boot up your bollocks. Dude, you're an alcoholic. It doesn't matter what word I use here. The problem is this guy drinks too fucking much. I don't understand how people
By the way, here's another little fun fact here, is that the Guinness Book of World Records actually no longer takes in records for fat animals because it was creating an encouragement for people to overfeed their pets, which was considered animal abuse. Yeah.
Too fucking much. I don't understand how people can argue against this. My point here is you can call it whatever you want, it's not gonna change the fact that obesity is an underlying medical condition. And if you view that as offensive, well then that kinda contradicts your entire fat liberation argument. I thought it was okay to be morbidly obese. Why is it now all of a sudden a word that shouldn't be said?
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy, and I am 100% glorifying obesity.
Go ahead, do whatever you want. Now, I'm sure there's probably some dude out there that thinks that she's hot, and go ahead. Like, I don't care. Yeah, you want to be fat? Go ahead, be fat. Like, yeah. What's the problem with that? Like, I mean, I don't care. Like, now, I don't want to hear about, like, how, like, the thing is, yeah, that's fine. The problem is, like, it's not that you're fat. Like, you be fat all you want. Who cares? But I just don't want to hear about how it's healthy.
Oh my God. She just said the O word. Twitter, cancel her.
No, they can say that. It's like the N word. They can say it. We can't say it. They can say it.
Seriously,
Duh.
what are the rules
It's
here?
their word,
Is it
yeah.
bad? Is it good? Is it a word that no one should ever say? Because if so, then I have a few replacement suggestions. Fat Talk, feel free to contact
Burger-bodied.
me. But this all just feels like they're just ignoring their hell. Like one big everyone close your ears and go la la la
Yeah.
la la, I don't want to hear the obese word. To which, okay, fine, but that's not gonna change the fact this word. To which, okay, fine, but that's
Is this your seat?
not
Jesus. Not anymore. Oh my god.
gonna change the fact that you are obese. Oh, sorry, I meant you're plus sized. And so is a plaque in your arteries. Good luck with heart disease.
Obesity is a noun, and it doesn't describe how large something is.
Well, actually,
Obesity is a noun. True. Obesity is actually a defined amount, and that's how bodybuilders are classified as obese.
the word obese is an adjective. And is a word used
that's how
to
you have
describe
morbidly obese, because that's also a definition, which is 100 pounds above the normal weight.
a large human being. So, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, it's just, it's not even true. Yes.
We don't say that that house is obese.
The word obese is used to describe people, genius.
The term obesity comes with judgment, not
Well,
a
of
judgment.
course it's a judgment. Obesity is a judgment. It's like, you're obese. You've just been judged. This is true. That's accurate.
Of the size of that person, but of how they became large.
What are you
Wait, what?
Of that person, but of how they became judgment. Not a judgment of the size of that person, but of how they became large.
What are you...
What?
You talking about? By definition, it literally is used to describe how large someone is. At this point, you're just throwing in random shit in to make it sound like you know what you're talking about. The word obese is a chronic disease that impairs health, okay? You can try and shift the definition all you want, saying all this fucking judgment.
Bro, she's talking about Latin. How are you talking about Latin, bro? Like, which puts the blame on the larger person as if food carries moral value.
Your reign is over, Bandit King.
I got a new Mr. Beast idea. It's a weight loss. It's gonna be it's a weight loss area, right? And so what you do is you put a big open air place and have the walls just be like 6 feet tall, so you can see some of them and you can just like look down on them, and you can put a bunch of people that are really, really fat in this area, and you can put inside of the area small holes that if they get thin enough and they lose enough weight, they can escape. And then the last one to leave gets a free like surgery to have like their like that stomach surgery done. Right? It's like it's a battle royale. Yeah, exactly. And so, cuz like, you know, Call Boogie, yeah, that's cool. I know, I think this is a really good idea. This is how Mr. Beast could rebuild the brand. You could call it the Hunger Games.
Judgment bullshit. But it's not gonna change the fact that being obese is bad for you. It's not neutral, it's fucking bad for you.
Yeah, it is.
Word comes from Latin, meaning to overeat, which puts the blame on the larger person.
Where else is the blame supposed to go?
Well, it's obviously the patriarchy. It's got to be it's Elon Musk, Donald Trump. Let's see, what else? There's probably like the school system. I mean, there's got to be a lot of reasons, right?
Me? Is it my fault that you can't go outside?
Wait, what is this here? What does it say? Bro, I love reading these. I really do. Accessibility is for everyone. No one feels so ashamed or embarrassed for using the tools and needs to navigate the world. Okay, true.
Can't go outside without...
Your worth is not determined by your size or ability. You deserve to feel uncomfortable and confident wherever you go. Well, good for you.
A fucking scooter? Or is it your fault because you refuse to eat a salad once in a while?
As if food carries moral value. It doesn't, and we should stop using this word.
Well, obviously it doesn't hold moral value. It's just food. The food itself isn't the problem here. The problem is when you eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories of it every day.
Jesus.
You can change the word all you want. The problem is still gonna be there. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, these are people, they change the word on it. They think it's gonna convince people it's different.
I like that word. Can we change it? Mate, the word's not the
What you have to understand is that if it wasn't for McDonald's, that... Well, here's what happens, right? Is like McDonald's puts out these advertisements, and they say, like, if you go to McDonald's, you're gonna get good food, and so then they have to go to McDonald's. That's what happens, yeah. So it's really not even their fault. It's like, why don't you get mad at McDonald's for putting out these advertisements, getting everybody to think this?
Fucking problem. The problem is that your internal organs probably look like Indian street food. You're the size of 3 people, and most of you...
Well, the problem is that you want people to ignore it. I don't care how big your fucking organs are. You want to be fat? Go ahead and be fat. You want to be fat as a motherfucker? Go ahead and do it. You want to do that? That sounds great. But I just do not want to fucking hear about how it's okay. About how it is normal. It's not fucking normal. You think people evolved from monkeys. Monkeys can climb a tree. Can they climb a tree? No, bro. They're a mountain. It's not going to happen.
Can't even sit down in a chair. You want to change the word to round? You want it to be plus size? You want it to be fucking morbid? It doesn't make a difference because the health problems that obesity cause are still gonna be there. Oh god, these people are so brain dead.
Why is it offensive to call someone fat who is fat?
Hello, certified fat person here.
Ah, god. You know, at this point, I can just...
Sometimes you just have to look at them and you know what it's gonna be. You just, you know what it's gonna be, bro. Like,
tell what kind of response I'm gonna get just from looking at them. I don't even...
You know what she is? She's the target audience for Concord.
Like using this word, but this is literally the Karen haircut. Okay, well, let's hear this one out.
And I'm more than happy to answer your question if you really do want an answer, which I'm not so sure you do.
Just get on with it.
To start, I refer to myself as fat, and I don't care if other people refer to me as fat, and that's because I don't see the word fat as a bad word. Even if someone tries to insult me by saying you're fat, my response is yes and.
I mean, yeah, she's not wrong.
Right.
It's not a bad word. It's just a pretty bad health condition. And also, if that's the case, then why the fuck does everyone...
I'm also not a big fan of, like, so if somebody is... Like, being mean to somebody for being fat is fundamentally being mean. And I don't agree that a lot of the cases where it's like, oh, well, we're fat shaming you because we want you to lose weight. No, you're fat shaming her because you think it's funny. And I think that's, you want to do that, go ahead and do that. It's fine. But don't go and act like you're trying to help anybody out here.
Get so upset about the word obese. Is it because obese sounds worse than fat? I mean, it does, but
I can think
they
of
both
way
lead
worse
to the
ones
same
than
conclusion. Heart disease.
It took a lot of work to get to this point, and that's because, like many other words in our language, the word fat has a dark history where it has been used to belittle, insult, and dehumanize.
Well, but you don't really think that because then you call yourself fat, so like, you really think that?
For the most part, to educate, because being fat is not a good thing. It's not a fucking body type like in a video game. No, it actually has consequences in real life. The way you talk about being fat is like it's like being short or having a big nose or having big lips or some shit like that. Those are inherent characteristics which you can't change. You are just literally killing yourself.
So for a lot of people, it's very difficult to shake this history when they hear the word fat.
Because it's an inherently bad thing. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, bone and joint issues, digestion issues. Do I even need to go on?
And if you want the word fat to be used in the same way as skinny, thin, fit, then you need to use it.
Here's the thing for me is like, this is a bit of a chip on my shoulder, I'm going to be honest, is that growing up, I was always, look at me, I'm still very, very fucking skinny, right? I'm still very skinny. Growing up, I was also very skinny. I would be made fun of very regularly for being skinny. People would call me names. They would say all kinds of things about me. Now, it would bother me. Nowadays, it doesn't, because now they're in their 30s just like I am, and their knees hurt because they're fat, and I'm not, and I don't have that problem. So, too bad. But back then, and so like I got made fun of all the time for being really, really skinny. I did very regularly. People would say stuff like that about me. Yes.
In a way that's not derogatory, which quite frankly...
Somebody said, did you get called a Holocaust survivor? I didn't. You want to know why? Because we didn't learn about the Holocaust until like, I don't know, maybe like the second half of senior year. And people were like, damn, bro, so they kill all... Damn, that's crazy. Wow. Oh, what? Damn. Yeah, we didn't even know what the fuck that was. Damn.
You did not do in your video. So if someone you deem fat prefers to refer to their body as curvy or plus size, they have every reason in the world to do so, and you need to respect it. Thanks.
What?
I think that it is like you... So... I swear to God, like, there's a big difference. So, like, plus-sized is, like, basically the same as being fat, right? But curvy is not being fat. This is not the same thing. Everybody knows this. Why are we talking about it? True, thank you. Yes, exactly. Thick? Well, there's thick, there's slim thick, and then there's extra thick, and it's pretty obvious which one each one means, right? I would say thick and curvy are pretty much equivalent in a lot of cases. But and I hate this. This is, you know what this is? It's false advertising. Okay? That's what's going on here. And if you didn't know, false advertising is illegal.
Difference does it make? Listen, mate, if you'd rather be called plus size, then yeah, whatever, sure, fine. The problems you get from obesity...
That people are allowed to live whatever they want without feeling guilty over it. I wonder what she's wearing on her face.
Are still gonna be there. How many times do I need to say the same thing before it drills into your abnormally large head? Whether you call it obese or not, it's still gonna be not good. But I guess this rational use of logic can't be expected from fat talk. I mean, they all collectively thought...
Well, they are. The thing is that... Do you remember what Boogie was getting mad at me for earlier about how I said the narcissism thing and the selfishness thing? Remember that? How about that? How about that? That's crazy, isn't it?
It was a good idea to call themselves Fat Talk, for fuck's sake. But another app that rational thought process can't be given to is Twitter. Obviously. I feel like anyone familiar with Twitter could have probably guessed that at this point. No one uses their brains on there. People even found a way to find political discourse in a McDonald's advert. The people of Twitter...
That was stupid, man. Like, I remember that, the McDonald's Japan advertisement. That was fucking... That was a crazy few days.
They even got mad at PewDiePie for being a happy, loving father.
You know, karma's a bitch, if not a myth, because if anyone deserves to suffer horribly, it's this Swedish piece of shit. with an AI-generated picture of a space marine from Warhammer 40k. Like, what the fuck? What?
This app is actually hell. Like, actually fucking hell. I refuse to believe that anyone who uses this app is happy in real life. But of course, if they can make big issues...
Twitter is my strongest argument for making the internet 18 plus.
Out of literally nothing, I don't see how...
What are these? I want to read this again. There are a lot of ads in the West that depict happy families with small kids, but they are not designed to appeal to online Nazi perverts, so you don't notice them. Right. This I can see why.
I don't see
that's
how
for
any
Nazis.
of these are controversial by any means. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe the fucking uproar when it comes to the word obese. Now I look at dumb people all day. I look at silly people all day. And even I've got to put my hands up and say these are some of the dumbest fucking retards on earth.
Yeah.
Fat talk is one thing, but Twitter is another fucking planet, man. Babe, obesity is a medical slur. Love your body. If you want to exercise and eat healthier, that's great. But don't be scammed and bullied into making yourself smaller. There is nothing wrong with being fat.
Then
Well,
why didn't you post a picture of yourself as your profile picture? Why not? I don't know. Who knows?
I fucking beg to differ. This shit kills people, you know. But I
Yeah.
guess my main question here is, how is weight loss a scam? I mean, yeah, sure, there are
Well,
some...
it's simple because they you know, well, here's why it's a scam, is that girl probably went to the grocery store and she saw the magazine with Dr. Oz on it, and it said, take this pill and you can eat donuts all day and you're gonna lose 120 pounds and you're gonna be skinny. And she buys the pill and she takes it and it doesn't work. And she's like, what the fuck? The Great Oz buying hope. That's what happened. I bet, yeah. She got scammed by Dr. Oz.
Shady weight loss practices, but for the most part, the weight loss journey itself is always a good thing. It's good for your heart, joints, mobility, overall health. You get to live longer. You actually get to sit down in chairs and you don't have to worry about a weight capacity. And you can actually walk without having to waddle around like a fucking penguin. This isn't bullying, this is just facts. Oh wait, sorry about that. I forgot I wasn't supposed to use rational thinking when talking to someone who uses Twitter. My apologies. When you see the fat-phobic slur obesity, replace the word in your mind with fat people or fat children, and then see how the headline or proposal reads.
Better. Here, I'll do one myself. People with morbidly obese fat children should have their kids taken away from them and be charged with child abuse or neglect. How about that? Seems pretty fair to me. Yeah, how about that?
Oh god. Anything you propose to do about the fat-phobic slur obesity is something you're proposing to do to fat people. And the reason why the word is a slur is because it makes you forget that fat people are people. Okay.
Oh god. Oh god, like this is amazing. How does this, where do these people come from? This is amazing. It's how do you do this?
Hey, no, mate. No. Whenever someone makes the statement that they want to get rid of obesity, they're talking about the illness obesity. They want to get rid of what
so this person thinks they're gonna like, yeah, we're gonna round up all the fat people and we're gonna shoot them? Who the fuck said that? What are you talking about?
these people have and not the people. Because they will live a lot shorter lives if they don't get rid of it. Obesity isn't a group of people, it's a health condition. Whenever someone says I want to get rid of cancer, they're not saying they want to kill
kill every kid with cancer. We're gonna get out. We're gonna end cancer in children. We're gonna get them all together and we're gonna shoot them. There's gonna be no more kids with cancer. Who the fuck thinks like this?
Everyone with cancer. They're saying they want to get rid of the illness. You
This
idiot.
is like, that's like the logic that a fucking anime protagonist has. It's like a dumber version of Thanos.
Don't even try and defend the fatphobic slur obesity by saying it's a medical term. It's a medical slur. Is that even a
my
thing?
God.
Is a medical slur even real? It's either you have the condition or you don't. I don't see how that can be derogatory. It's the word doctors use to deny fat people medical care. Yeah, we know it's used in medicine, causing they're using it to...
Yeah, we know it. I think that what they're trying to say is that maybe the medicine is killing them.
Kill us. What? You know what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Whenever a doctor gives a fat person health advice, they just
They want
denying
them
them
to
healthcare.
die.
Yeah,
They
you're
want
right.
them to
I
die.
hate
That's
the term
right.
so much. It's so dehumanizing.
What do we have here? Another anime profile picture of a skinny, pretty girl. It's crazy how, like, the dissonance can be right in front of you and you can't see it.
Felt like a fucking specimen when I read the note my doctor wrote for me in order to get reasonable accommodations at work. You know, just getting a little bit silly here. You can do things in your life. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they could possibly be. There are some things out there which can help you lose weight, okay? I don't know what they could possibly be, but they are out there.
Nobody knows. It's an unravelable tapestry of life that nobody can even begin to understand. The human body is full of mysteries, and we've only begun to discover the surface. It's a medical mystery. It's unknowable. There's nothing that you can do.
So if you don't like being obese, then you could maybe give it a try. Just an idea. The term obese is a slur. Violent, dehumanizing. It's anti-black. Well,
it's anti-black. The only implication that you could make with that is racist. That's crazy. Wow.
As a colored crayon myself, I don't see how. How can a biological health condition be racist? I am losing.
It's simple. It's because that's a bad word, and the bad people have all the bad words, and so they're bad.
Faith in our species. Hey skinnies, the word obesity is a fat-phobic slur. Stop interacting with posts that use it as a way to combat fatness. I fucking hate y'all for that shit.
Look at this. Another cute, in-shape anime girl. I wonder if she's fat. I bet she's not.
If you're not fat, stay out of fat people's business. And if you disagree, literally block me.
I love how, like, the idea is that, like, fat people are, like, another... It's like an interest group, right? You have, like, Asian Americans, white people, black people, and then you have fat people. It's like a protected class. Yeah, exactly. It's another species. I guess it's crazy. It's a race? Yeah. Well, it's not, but you know.
Okay, well, you're gonna fucking die. See you later, bro. Calm down, calm down, calm down. It's a joke. It's a joke. Kind of. The term obese is a slur because it is used to dehumanize and harass us. It's not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description. Well, it is, because I don't see how it could be anything else. It is an outdated term that does more harm than good. And as such, it should be eradicated. That's it. I've said it many times before and I'll say it again. Just because you get rid of the word doesn't mean you get rid of what it actually is. The causes and effects of obesity are still going to be a thing whether you call it...
No, but like if you think about it from their perspective, that if you stop calling people fat, maybe being fat will go away and it will become normal. Because, like, that's the way they're thinking of it. That's what it is. Why are we acting like these insane opinions so less than 0.01% population are worth talking about? So the reason why it's problematic is that these people put themselves in positions of authority, and then they use this thinking to dictate what other people can and can't say. These are the people that work at your HR office who are constantly trying to call you in, that are mad at you for making some harmless joke. These are the people who are unreasonable and they want everybody else in the world to accommodate their unreasonable behavior. So I think that's the reason why I don't want to be told what to think by these people. They're fucking annoying. Actually true, yeah, that's the reason why. I mean, what are we even talking about? It's a loud minority. And here's the other problem, right? Is that people accommodate this because they think that they're being nice. Oh yeah, let's be nice. You know what I think is also nice? I think that next time, you know, Cletus the crackhead needs another hit of heroin or fentanyl, I'm just gonna give it to him. Because, like, look, if he wants it, I'm being a nice guy. I'm just being a nice guy. I mean, there it is.
Obesity or not, how hard is this to understand? It's almost like education is illegal wherever you people are from. My god. Mercedes claims that obesity is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor fat people. Oh god, I'm starting to
They're doing the, they're like, this is like whenever I would say something bad, I can never just be a racist. I have to be a homophobic, racist, misogynist, transphobe. Like, they can never play with one piece. They have to use the entire Exodia.
I feel my brain melt at some of this bullshit. What are you talking about? Honestly, what are you talking about? A medical term used to diagnose people is now claimed to be violent. This can't be real life. They want to be victims so badly. It's so fucking cringe. You'll never see anyone defend anorexia or chain smoking like this. So why do they...
it's gross. And I think this is the wanting to be a victim thing is a huge, huge issue.
They do it for obesity. God, this is so fucking weird. Now, I'm not going to claim to be a medical professional by any means, because I'm really not. I only studied anatomy, physiology, and nutrition for around a year in college, right? But even with the little amounts of information I have on the subject, I still have more than enough knowledge to claim that being morbidly obese is not a good thing. It's not like a neutral body type like in a video game which has no impact on your gameplay. No, it's not like that. It's a serious medical condition and is terrible for your health. You don't even need to study anything to understand that. I feel like most people can tell what a healthy body looks like compared to an unhealthy one. As long as you have more than 2 lines on your brain, then you should be able to know this. And yet, we have these people. But not only has this ideology seeped itself onto TikTok and Twitter, but it's also seeped itself into actual medical professionals.
No.
Honestly, I wish I was joking.
If you are obese, please don't ever let a doctor or a healthcare provider tell you that you need to lose weight before they investigate further a symptom that you're having.
Great point. He's totally right. That doctor is 100% right. He is. He's totally right. Absolutely.
You have to be just a guy in a costume, okay? There is no way you have a medical license. Oh my days.
No, I think this was cut out of context. It was. And I think that obviously if you let him explain his point of view, that it would make perfect sense. Because there are instances where people are dismissed because, like, any problem they have is because they're overweight, and the doctors do dismiss them based off of that, and they don't do further testing. And in fact, the problem could be something different, and it's not being treated properly. This is a huge problem. with diagnoses and treatment, and it's absolutely valid and completely true.
Dare a medical healthcare provider provide medical healthcare? That's just ridiculous. If you are clinically diagnosed with obesity, then you should lose the weight. If a medical...
Absolutely, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every other ailment that you have is a direct outcome of that obesity, right? I think that's what the person is saying, which makes sense.
Professional tells you to do so,
it seems out of context.
Then you should probably do so. A reliable medical professional who actually uses biology, not this bell end.
If they want to delay getting a lab or getting imaging or having you see a specialist, if they want to delay that because they say you need to lose weight first, you need to push back on that person.
She's right.
Or you need to find someone else.
Yeah, true.
Why? If you're obese and you're suffering from symptoms and you decide to lose the weight, there is a high possibility that those symptoms can lessen down. Making treatment...
It is. There is a possibility, but the possibility is not 100%. And I think that it's high enough to where it's worth doing a test and to check and see.
And a lot easier for everyone involved. Any doctor in their right state of mind would understand this.
Because your health problems are not just blamed on your obesity or
which
the
is very
fat
true
issue that you have.
Yeah, you graduated on Roblox, bro.
Yeah, no, it definitely is the case. That is absolutely true. He's right.
There's no fucking way you have a master's degree. This may be news.
Somebody brought up a really good point in chat. They said, have you ever noticed that all of the people that are promoting obesity are really young? That is interesting. Because I think that you're right. I didn't see a lot of older people that were promoting obesity. I wonder why. Maybe I know why, guys. It's because older people don't use YouTube as much.
To you,
that must be the reason.
But being fat
no, that's the reason.
Is a health issue.
For sure.
And will be the cause of 99% of the problems these people have. You'd like...
Not 99%, right? But like, it's like usually, this is like, for example, like COVID, right? Like COVID was a really good example of a lot of the people that got killed by COVID, they were overweight. A lot of them were, right? And it's like being fat is like it's like having 5 stacks of Sunder armor, okay? So, like, if you have 5 stacks of Sunder armor, a attack that would maybe do, like, 100 damage to you would now do 200 damage, right? It's like a debuff, right? In PoE, it's like now you have elemental weakness. Now you have, like, reduced armor. Now you have, like, damage taken increase, right? It's a debuff. And so, if something hits you with that debuff on, well, now it's going to be doing enhanced damage.
To believe a doctor would know this.
You are allowed to have other health problems
True.
As well, and you deserve the respect and dignity of investigating those other symptoms as well.
True. Completely agree with the guy. Totally agree with him.
Yeah, but what about the main symptom that is visible? Are you serious? If this person
Well,
walks
they're not
into
mutually exclusive.
your office and says, "Oh, doc, my joints hurt," are you gonna say, "Oh, let me go investigate that further"? No, idiot. The problem is pretty obvious. It doesn't need much investigation. You'd like to...
Bro, they push her? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. No, bro.
You'd like to believe a medical professional would understand this, but clearly not. Jeez, man. Us evolving backwards really was an understatement. We've got people genuinely walking around thinking that there's absolutely nothing wrong with being morbidly obese. And there's even people thinking we shouldn't even say the word obese.
Yeah, I think that, again, like, the doctor part, I actually agree with the doctor. I think the doctor is right. And I think that there could be big issues that... Obviously, obesity is like a major health problem and it should be addressed, but obesity doesn't always 100% of the time explain every symptom a person would be having. And that's why you have those other tests. Like, that's of course the reason why. Can we still say morbidly obese, right? For now. Yeah. Why is this topic only a thing in the USA? because in the USA, there's a lot of identity politics issues. So people try to figure out ways to put themselves into identity groups, which is one of the reasons why I think that a lot of the people there are fat white women, is because obviously as a white person, you don't have any sort of like, what do you call it? Like a marginalized identity. And I think that people like that want to have a marginalized identity. So they look for ways that they can make themselves marginalized. And so they don't have to acknowledge that they're living with the most privilege that any person has ever experienced in the history of time. But they don't want to think about that. They want to find a way to victimize themselves. So that's the reason why it happens.
Also simultaneously thinking
and
that
I understand that this is a very mean thing to say, and this is it's maybe I get a little bit too real here, but this is absolutely what's happening, and everybody knows it.
Nothing wrong with being obese, but if
Yeah.
that's the case, then why shouldn't we be able to say it? I mean, is it a slur? Is it liberating? Is it fat phobic? I don't even fucking know anymore. Every time I try and understand this stuff, I just get a headache. But there you have it. Modern society. Calling people who are objectively unhealthy is now derogatory. And the word obesity should now be censored. But at the same time should be liberated and celebrated, and just, I give up. Every time I come back to this plus size agenda, it just makes less and less sense. But anyways, guys, this is in fact the end of the video.
Well, it makes perfect sense if you think about it from the perspective of I'm doing everything I can to justify my behavior that I've already decided to do. So you're thinking about it from the logic of why does this make sense? But stop thinking about making sense and start thinking about making excuses, and now it makes a lot more sense.
If you liked, please leave a like, and if you didn't, then feel free to degrade me in the comments. I hope my braces and newfound speech didn't affect the video too much, but if it did, then sorry about that. I'm still in my—
Somebody brings up a really good point. I'm gonna pull this one up in chat. There's actually a positive chatter. Imagine that. Being fat was a status symbol centuries back as a sign of an overabundance of resources. So unless the cause is medical, being fat is a privilege. That is actually that is an insane 4D chess. That the fact that you're overweight is evidence of your privilege. Bro, like that's oh my god. I feel like that's a whole new strategy. That's crazy. I love it. Oh man.
my adapting phase, so I'm not fully normal just yet. But like I said earlier, I had to make this video. There was no way I was ignoring this. But yeah, hopefully next video I don't sound like fucking Timmy Turner. But with all that said, all my links and socials are in the description. Feel free to follow me on anything. I hope all of you guys did enjoy the video. But until next time, make sure to drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.
You know why being overweight is one of the smartest things you could do?
Why is that?
Just imagine a zombie apocalypse and there's no food left. Overweight people keep all the food in their belly. Therefore,
Then why do you eat more of it?
they would live longer than people who aren't overweight.
Yeah. Good luck outrunning any living creature. There's no way you actually think that being overweight in a zombie apocalypse is a good idea. And side note, zombies aren't real, okay? You just threw your health in the garbage for a fictional story. It doesn't get any dumber than that.
Oh god. Ain't that something, man? That's crazy. Like, are you thinking about zombies, bro? Like, she being fat thinking about zombies. Rule number 1 of Zombieland cardio. I remember that. I watched this in movie. I watched that in movie theaters. You don't understand how far the rabbit hole goes. Some fat people think that getting rid of obesity kills fat culture, and they call it a fat genocide. A fat genocide. I wonder. So, like, here's the thing, right? Let's do a thought experiment. Would I think the guy's name was Polk. I think the guy that made the polio vaccine. would people say that he was doing a genocide of polio culture? Like, if it was in today's day and age. Like, I wonder, right? Because, like, that sounds so stupid. But that doesn't mean it can't be true. I mean, fuck, I feel like that means it probably would be true. If it benefited them, they would say literally anything. I'm sure someone, yeah. The thing with this kind of stuff to me is that I think it does do really bad damage to, like, young people. And you see also, by the way, the reason why there's no older fat people in these videos is because they're dead. That's why. If you get fat, you're going to die early. And that's why all of them are like 25 or 29 or something like that. It's because they usually pop off at about, like, 40 to 50 or so. And then, that's just the way things go. And so why is that happening? And so if somebody wants to do that, then I think that's their right. This is their right as an American to be 700 pounds. It is. It's their right. But the moment that you go and you start telling people that it's a normal lifestyle, that this is something that just happens to you, and it like, basically it's the messaging of the, like, the helplessness that people have to it that I think is very unhealthy. And I think this is true with any type of unhealthy behavior. Whether this is like drinking soda, not good for you. Drinking alcohol, not good for you. Smoking cigarettes, not good for you. Vaping, not good for you. Now, it's not that bad, but it's still not good for you. You'd be better off if you didn't do it. Other than, like, a few things with, like, weed, probably not good for you either. Unless it's, like, medically needed. So in many cases, there are a lot of things that people do that are not good for you. And the problem isn't that they do them. The problem is that they do them and then they want to be admired for it. This is a good video. They want to be admired and celebrated for doing something that hurts them. Fill the lungs with shit? Yeah, I mean, there it is. You got to look up the Plus stores in Asia. They got no chill. I saw it, man. Yeah, I did see that. Anything inhaled besides oxygen is harmful? Yeah, I guess so. Trying to analyze stupid. Well, it's about, and again, also, it's just narcissistic people that are looking for reasons to justify their bad behavior and make other people sorry for it. Right? They want to tell other people what to do, what to think, what they can't say. Meanwhile, they're just not controlling themselves. The problem is that unhealthy choices are oftentimes the most cheaper than healthy choices. In Denmark, they have a sugar tax on all sweet products. It works. You see, like, I don't even entirely believe that because there's a lot of produce that's pretty cheap. Like, I don't think that's true. As somebody who's been to a grocery store before, that's not really true. If you cook produce and you buy raw produce and you make the produce, you are probably going to come out ahead than if you're just eating bags of Cheetos. It's really not. Yeah, it's a fat cope. That's what it is. This is like, oh, well, I'm fat because I'm poor. No, you're not. Go look at actual poor people in India and in Africa. Are they fat? No, they're not. You're not fat because you're poor. It's just that simple. Poor people are skinny? Yeah, real poor people are skinny. It's crazy. Getting to the produce, though, urban areas do not have grocery stores. Is the cost of quality of food, poverty, and obesity are correlated? Yeah, of course they are. But you know what else is correlated? Education and obesity, I bet. I bet there's a lot of dumb people because they're not educating themselves. They're dumb as fuck, and they don't know what the hell is going on. It is, yeah. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Poverty and obesity, yeah. Of fucking course, but just because it's correlated, like, have you ever thought that maybe these same bad decision-making pattern that caused somebody to get fat would also cause them to be poor? Like, I don't know. I feel like that kind of makes a lot of sense. Also, again, a lot of times being overweight is probably it's people that are willing to do things that are self-indulgent. And guess what? You do that if you're trying to make money and it's not too good. That's what I think. Black Myth Wukong is a threat. It's a threat. Uh-oh.
Black Myth Wukong is one of the most anticipated games of this year. If you're anything like
It's
me,
been
you're
anticipated
looking
for
forward
3
to it.
years.
I can't wait. I'm a big Souls fan to begin with, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to get my hands on it. But with that said, it's also
Every
been a
action combat game from now on is like Dark Souls.
game that's had a lot of hit pieces
It's just
ran
the way
on
it
it
is.
ever since the game's reveal. Just recently, I
Yeah.
ended up reading an article from The Guardian where they're going in and talking and parroting the same points that I've seen many other journalists say, and trying to paint the game in a bad picture, specifically trying to send the message that, hey, yeah, it looks like a good game, but, the developer doesn't say very nice things, and we probably shouldn't support them.
Yeah.
So today what I want to do is I want to talk about the media's obsession with Black Myth Wukong, but more than anything, I want to talk about why they're obsessed. If you
It's not
haven't
Black Myth Wukong, it's blackmail. That's what's going on here.
heard, Black Myth Wukong is blowing up before its release. The game is already the most wishlisted game on Steam,
What a
and
surprise.
just the other day, the benchmark tool brought in over 85,000 players at
It's
its peak.
insane.
An optimization testing tool brought in more players, 40 times the amount of players
Yep.
as Sony's open beta of Concord. Low blow, I know, but it'll become a little bit
it's a
more
low player count too.
irrelevant later on. With that said, Black Myth Wukong's developer Game Science likely has a breakout hit on their hands, and this is their debut title. But there are those that are out there that want to try and stand in its way.
Yep.
Just a couple weeks ago, Tom Regan of The Guardian wrote an article titled Black Myth Wukong, the summer's most exciting and most controversial video game.
I love how people that write articles like this like to pretend like something's controversial because them and their 3 other retard friends that work in the industry complain about it. Nobody thinks this is controversial except for you and 3 other people that are as dumb as you are. Nobody else thinks this at all. This is Hogwarts Legacy all over again? It is.
Beautiful looking action game is based on Journey to the West, the great Chinese novel, but its own journey to release.
And my perspective with this is, again, never let people live this down. Not in 2 years. Never let them live this down. Anytime they do something, keep in mind, always discredit them. Never, ever let them live it down.
Hit a bump in the road. Tom writes, after playing Wukong for an hour and a half in a London hotel suite, watched nervously by Game Science employees, I can confirm that, somewhat miraculously, this stunning Chinese mythological twist on Dark Souls delivers on that showy trailer. Marrying fluid-feeling combat and reflex-testing difficulty and the expensive filmic sheen of something like God of War. As I sprint through Wukong's dense jungle, ducking and dodging through a deadly array of flora and fauna, I come face to face with everything from gi-wearing toads to nightmarish gigantic-headed infants.
This is the game, by the way, that doesn't have diversity. Keep all this in mind. This is the game that doesn't have diversity.
Many of its brutally challenging From Software-inspired peers, the difficulty in Wukong feels expertly judged. My simian avatar met a grisly end more times than I care to admit, but I persevered. Eventually, I defeated enough foes to unlock new abilities. Soon, I can perch atop my staff mid-attack, giving me an edge against its murderous mythological monsters. I can buzz around the forest as a stealthy cicada, summon flames from my glaive, and eventually topple a snarly, lorry-sized werewolf atop a crumbling temple.
I think that people write like this to prove that they know what a thesaurus is. I think that there's a huge problem with the way that journalism and writing is now. Reading writing like this, it feels more like I'm reading masturbation rather than information. It's pseudo-intellectualism. It is.
We're Under Great Pressure reflects one of Game Science's co-founders who was introduced only as Ted. Game Science wouldn't give his full name via translator. This is the first time we have worked on a PC and console game, and we are also a new studio. So we really like to think how tolerant the players and the market is towards us. Their excitement encourages us. However, the thinking of Chinese people tends to be, we look at the risks. And therefore, when we're faced with such great encouragement, the best thing we can do is to try our best to satisfy the expectations of the players and communicate with the players in a very honest way. China has
that's the problem right there. It's that they're communicating with the players instead of the journalists. That's the whole problem. That's why the journalists are mad. Is because they cut out the middleman.
The mobile gaming market. You look at everything that HoYoverse has done, from Genshin Impact, Endless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact Third. These games have made a lot of money. They have a lot of players.
They do make a lot of
And
money.
what they've done is they've actually paved the way for Chinese
to make a
developers
gacha
to
game.
be able to reach global markets. Something that was relatively inaccessible for them in the past.
Yeah, true.
And in that, I'm actually kind of surprised that we're not seeing more skepticism when it comes to a new studio that hasn't released a game before, that's releasing a AAA game that looks as good as this does, and it's coming from a country that we normally don't see a lot of games come from in the first place. But I think it's great that
we've seen a lot of games recently, like Once Human, for example, and I think there's a number of other games that have started coming out of China that are pretty good. And I think that it's undeniable that, like, the way that China has obviously become a lot more part of, like, the modern Western world, or they've become at least aware of it, or, you know, like, kind of a satellite to it. Nowadays, I think that's had a huge impact on their culture. And so one way it's impacted China's culture is that over there, people used to want to be astronauts, and now they too want to be influencers instead of doctors. So you can see the American influence in China as well. And I think this is going to be like a global internet culture that's evolved. And I think this is a good thing. Not that particularly, but in a general sense, people becoming part of a global internet culture is a great thing.
Seeing that support, because from my perspective, I just want to see more video games, and the more countries that are out there that are making them, the more diverse ideas and cool games that we can play, and that's what I'm all about.
I think that's one thing that's really exciting to me about Wukong is, like, I don't know how many games I've seen that are about Norse mythology, and I love Norse mythology, but I've seen it 100 times. I want something new. I want something that's like you know, like the same way like how I played Lost Ark or like Final Fantasy 14, and it's like, how have I not known about this like amazing, crazy, awesome thing that's existed for years? Well, like, this has only existed for like a few hundred years. So yeah, I want to see some new crazy shit. I'm Scandinavian, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Slavic gods. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that would be really cool too. Like, any of that stuff would be really cool. Witcher 3 is Slav mythology. Yeah, it is. Like, obviously, like, you see a little bit of that. I mean, obviously, like, Baba Yaga, I think, is like probably like the biggest example, like Chernobog, etc. But like, even like what do you call it? Indian mythology, or like any of this stuff.
To be honest, we haven't really even seen that many AAA games come from China in the first place.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I can think of off the top of my head is like Raka Blade Point. That's pretty much about it.
Yeah, it's a Chinese game.
But one of the things the developers brought up was that they feel like they're under a lot of pressure, and I don't think people really understand or recognize just how much pressure that they're under. Because keep in mind, they have far more rules and restrictions that they need to follow before they can even try to ship a game outside of their country.
Well, there's also like the huge cultural expectation that this game that represents one of the most nationalistic countries in the entire world, that has more pride than almost any other country in the world, and they are the ones who are in charge of telling this story to the world. That is a crazy amount of pressure. That's nuts.
And way more restrictions than Western studios have, that's for sure. But with that said, you also have, you know, clashes in culture and things like that, and I think what they've chose to do, especially with Black Myth Wukong, is just, well, emulate the success of another game and try to adapt their ideologies or their philosophies of game design into their game. And that's what Black Myth Wukong kind of represents to me. It's a smart idea. You're going to be able to hook up with a pretty large audience because a lot of people really like Souls games, especially after Elden Ring. So it's a great idea to be able to reach as many players.
Well, it's not like Dark Souls invented action combat games either. I mean, like, look at God of War. Like, there's plenty of games that have come out before Dark Souls that were like this. The truth is that action combat games are just really popular because they're super fun. Like Devil May Cry, yeah, like there's a million of them.
Possibly can. But one of the other difficulties that they're running into is one that's completely unnecessary. And it's the fact that for some odd reason, there are a lot of Western critics that do not want to see this game get any level of success.
Yep.
Tom continues with his article saying, I am unfortunately met with very little honest communication when I bring up a report from IGN which related alleged sexist comments from multiple developers at Game Science, as well as those in leadership roles. I presented Ted with the opportunity to address those claims of misogynistic posts and whether he feels they represent game science's values. Instead, I am shut down with a hasty no comment from their UK PR representative, and then, after a long wait, given a longer statement of no comment via Ted's translator. I am then told that Game Science's US PR agency will follow up later with a prepared statement, only to be sent the following. Game Science is focused on the demo at this time and will only answer questions related to gameplay.
So, abso-fucking-lutely, by the way, abso-fucking-lutely Giga Chad move. And you have to understand why it's a Giga Chad move. And in order to understand that, you have to understand what the power dynamic that these journalists are trying to create is. So what they do is they create a problem, or they identify a problem, and then they make this problem seem like it's a big issue to the company, and then the company then needs to capitulate to this like journalist company or this magazine or this group in order to make them happy. So the entire power dynamic is created off of caring about what these people think. So that if you don't care what they think, the entire thing falls apart. That's it, right? The response translates to I don't give a fuck, right? They blackmail you, exactly. And so they basically create this thing where they appoint themselves as the arbiters of what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. They define where you are on that parameter, and then they want you to play inside of the rules that they created in order to make themselves relevant. That's what's happening here. It's a power trip. Yes, it's an absolute power dynamic. And the only way you win this game is by not playing it. That's the truth. That's the way you win the game right there, is you just simply don't play the fucking game. They try to create their own power. Yes, they're creating their own power. And a Chinese company doesn't care about that. And I think that more American companies need to feel the same way. You educated me on the whole game journalist thing because I never paid attention to all the bullshit in the first place, but I didn't realize that other people do pay attention. It's like this with other types of journalism too. It's just that games journalism is small scope enough, and it's enough of a microcosm for us to be able to perceive everything that's happening inside of the space. But I think the exact same thing probably happens in larger scale journalism too, but it's more abstract and you're not able to perceive it as well.
Related to gameplay.
They want to take the moral high ground.
The same thing happened to an IGN reporter at a demo in Los Angeles last month. It is disappointing.
And you can see how obviously if game science just simply doesn't take it seriously and doesn't listen to them, then they have no power. Because this isn't a problem that the players have. And this is a very important component too. Players don't have this problem with the game. Journalists have a problem with the game.
That Game Science is opting to invite journalists to speak to them and play the game, but refusing to answer their questions. Perhaps there is no reassurance to offer. A generous reading of the situation would be that this isn't...
Well, it's that any reassurance reinforces the power dynamic that they've created. By giving them a reassurance, or by even denying it, you speak into existence the power dynamic that they exist inside of.
An experienced studio petrified of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yet, in failing to say anything at all, Game Science is also failing to distance itself and its game from multiple crude, disparaging, and misogynistic comments attributed to its employees and leadership. Journey to the West, of course, is
and you can see the words, these are weasel words, and this is something that, like, a lot of people that aren't really experienced in this petrified said, yet in failing to say anything at all, GameStar failing to distance itself from the multiple crude that are attributed to. See, attributed to is different than said. Attributed to means that somebody said that you said this. Said something is that you said it. And these little weasel words that are used are done in a way that an average person without a more erudite knowledge of language would not notice. And these are the ways that people manipulate language and they manipulate thought. The silence is deafening? Yeah, exactly. They're weasel. Yeah, they're absolutely rats.
Journey to the West, of course, is no stranger to the world of video games. From Ninja Theory's 2010 Alex Garland penned and Andy Serkis starring Xbox 360 adaptation Enslaved: Odyssey to the West, to Akira Toriyama's world-conquering Dragon Ball, it's a world of myth and monkeys that lends
Imagine
itself
that.
perfectly to gaming.
Keep in mind, this is the game that doesn't have diversity. Always keep that in mind.
Wukong's stunning visuals, cinematic beauty, and refreshing sense of speed could well make it the best playable adaptation of the Fable to date. But the unreserved excitement I would otherwise feel about it is being trampled by the elephant in the room. Guys,
This is like the same dynamic. This is like the professional version of, did you tell your parents that you're gay yet? This is the journalist version of that. When did you stop beating your wife?
Be honest with you, I cannot believe that they wrote this.
Me
the
too.
elephant in the room, huh? I would imagine the elephant in the room is the fact that the report from IGN was found to be heavily mistranslated and misrepresented.
Well, it doesn't even matter whether it is or not. I think people are just simply, even if everything that they said was true, that is going to in no way, shape, or form affect the way that I'm going to play the game. Because I don't care what the political leanings or opinions of the developer are. If the game is fun to play and it's enjoyable and it's not in the middle of my face when I'm playing the game, then I don't really care about it. These people are they are activists that are LARPing as journalists that are now getting mad that they're being rejected by a group of people that are consumers and not also activists. The YouTube link goes to an Asmon video, by the way. Yeah, because a lot of other people didn't talk about it. Like, I usually, like, again, I try to cover all of the, like, any of the bad topics, I'll cover them. It doesn't bother me.
Misinformation about a studio either by the way of IGN's ignorance or their malice. The report that they mention is something that was parroted by almost every...
It's both, by the way. They're stupid, and they're also with bad intentions.
Other gaming news site. Headlines with this narrative ran wild since the
Yeah.
reveal of Black Myth Wukong's trailer a few years ago, making sure that players know, yeah, the game looks cool, but guys, this is a very bad developer. This misrepresentation even led to Game Science's studio allegedly being vandalized by the people that were claiming to do it based on that news of the studio's quote-unquote sexist culture.
If I was the Chinese government, I would unironically fund a lawsuit to sue the fuck out of them. If it was actually mistranslated in a way that wasn't accurate, I would sue them into fucking oblivion. We could finally have a CCPW for once. For defamation? Yeah. Reminds me of the Hogwarts bullshit? Yeah, this is exactly the same. Except the difference is that this studio, like the Hogwarts Legacy, they still paid lip service to it. And like they were like, no, that's not true, it's not true. This studio is just like, shut up. Shut up, we're not accountable to you. Which is, by the way, 1,000 times better.
Eventually, through social media, readers and critics pointed out the mistranslations. Hell, Asmongold's editor, Clip's editor, did a better job of reporting and investigating, showing all of the mistranslations.
Context. IGN.
That's because the reason why is that there have been a lot of instances where I've been wrong about something, and I do try to be accurate in what I say and what I do in my videos. I understand everybody likes to meme about like, oh yeah, spreading misinformation, I don't really know what I'm talking about, etc. Sure, but my goal primarily is to be as accurate as I can be. And to understand things in a way that is the most complete. And oftentimes that puts me at odds with the audience. I'm at odds with the audience all the time because of this. Because people have convinced themselves of one thing, and then they hear something else, and they say, fuck you, I don't believe that. But yeah, obviously we've got great editors that work on the YouTube channel. They do an amazing fucking job. And, you know, I'm very lucky. I think that we all are.
And published an article trying to smear the company
They sure
and
did.
the devs behind Black Myth Wukong as some sexist freaks because of some of their employees' social media posts.
I gotta get Kaisi to translate this shit to actually see if it's true or not.
article cites one of their artists who basically did the still wood about this monster. The problem is that this game...
I would too. Like, I mean, it's not a secret. Yeah, I mean... Who doesn't... Yeah, I mean... Is this if that's a problem to you? I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear your opinion about anything. Just a fucking idiot.
Incompetence or malice translated these posts in the most uncharitable way possible. And this is nothing compared to the most egregious mistranslation after one of the game company founders posted this in 2020. Apologizing for the lackluster trailer of Black Myth Wukong just released. Now, how on earth do you get?
I want to expand my circle and hire more people. Get licked until I can't get an erection.
In reality, the actual translation completely changes the meaning of what he was saying.
And it's like, this is the
actual translation completely changes the meaning of what he was saying.
It's like, this is the... Do you remember what I was saying before about how, like, there are some people that are like, they're like Redditors that are so stupid and they don't even know that they're stupid? The arrogance that a writer would think that he's actually talking about getting blowjobs from his employees... The level of arrogance and ignorance of that is derived because it's somebody who has never had to communicate for somebody else through another language. That's the reason why. Now, I've told you guys this before. I think I probably said it in the original video. I have to talk to two girls. One of those Korean, and I had to use a translator to talk to her. And there would be a lot of things that were, like, lost in translation. And she would type me some stuff, and I'm like, this is the most retarded, dumb fuck thing I've ever read. This is so stupid. There's no way she really meant this. And I'm like, she explained it a different way. She's like, oh, yeah, okay. And it's like this. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Relatable. Yeah, so, like, I know how it is.
Satisfied, I went back checking if anyone called this out when it happened, and they did.
And ultimately, this all led to the original writer of the IGN report giving a backhanded non-apology, avoiding the conversation of mistranslation, still perpetuating the lie, and upset over Game Science's lack of response, and that the
exactly right, because it's all about the power dynamic. That's what it exists in. This entire thing is about a power play. And Game Science doing this is actually one of the biggest W's. I'm so happy to see this happen. I treat patients through translator apps a lot. A lot can get lost in translation. Yeah, man, that must be really scary. Like, yeah, that would freak me the fuck out, right? Because, like, fuck, that sucks.
With a Monkey King and a bunch of anthropomorphic characters doesn't have enough femme-coded characters. I am beyond myself. The gall to come forward and say something like, maybe they don't want to say anything because they're afraid to say the wrong thing. What exactly is the wrong thing?
I tell you what the wrong thing is. The wrong thing, in my opinion, is trying to explain to them and justify yourself. You lose when you play the game. Apparently, this is like a racial thing now. I didn't know this, but like growing up, there was like the story of the tar baby, right? Where it's like the more you get involved with it, the more dirty it makes you. Now, this apparently is a racial term. I learned this when I just used it randomly, and people were like, "What the fuck?" But like growing up, it's like fucking with a porcupine, right? There's a lot of other variables that I can use as well that are effectively the same thing. The more that you try to deal with somebody like this, it's like dealing with somebody on Twitter. Like, there have been a lot of times where I have written tweets, and then I've deleted the tweet before I send it, because I realize that there is not any outcome of this tweet that will improve the quality of my life. It's a waste of time to do it. And that's why I basically never, ever, ever tweet. I never talk about it because I don't owe anybody an explanation. I don't owe anybody anything like that. Somebody gets mad about what I say, too bad, fuck them. Tar Baby's not racist. Somebody started trying to say it's racist. Well, it's the same thing, guys. Well, here's the thing, right? If you're in the South, there's a lot of things that if you're a racist, you can make almost anything sound racist. And so I think it's an issue. Well, actually, wait a minute. Why are we even talking about this? Let's move on. Anyway, the point is that if you engage with people like that, you just simply empower them and you get yourself dirty in the process.
Because apparently you already think they said it to begin with, even though it was all mistranslated and misrepresented in the first place. Sure, they may have said some crude things, but you don't understand their culture or the intricacies of their language and how they use colloquialisms and things like that. So you're just applying what you believe onto what they are saying. I'm appalled.
It's another example of a probably upper middle class liberal privileged person in a first world country that is trying to colonize another culture by it's like the best like fictional comparison that like I have to the people like this is Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter. They think that they're doing a good thing and they're right, but they're actually so profoundly fucking wrong and wrong-minded that it's insane. Why liberal? Because conservatives are getting mad about other stupid stuff instead. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, they're like just stick around for a week. I'll make you mad too, okay?
Ridiculous is what it is. I'm shocked. I don't even really know how to respond to something like this. I think that Western critics and game journalists, not all of them, but some of them, view these Chinese-made games and games made in some other countries as a threat.
They do.
Because these are studios that will not fall in line with whatever
they're not accountable to them. And the thing is that once the Chinese studios show that they're not accountable to these game publishing companies, it will indicate to all of the other companies that are in the West that they too are also not accountable to them. And once that power dynamic that's completely fake, it's imaginary, once that is dissolved, then these companies have they like, that's their bargaining power. It's like basically if I say something and then somebody says they're offended, if I'm worried about offending them, they have control over me. But if I don't care about offending them, then they don't. And so it is in the person's best interest that you care, that they care. But the moment that you stop caring is the moment that they stop mattering. And the reality is that they never did. It's just that now the public is starting to realize it.
Narrative is, even if they are in the wrong. Because there are times, and there have been times in the past, where the media was wrong about something, but still wanted and still pressured the studios to do something and say something that otherwise went against it. And that's exactly what they're trying to do now. Still running with the exact same narrative, even though it's already been disproven. What is the point of that?
It's a power dynamic. So and this is something that's very common inside of any sort of oppressive power structure. One of the most powerful forms of exercising power inside of an oppressive power structure is an unequal or unjust application of that power. And the reason why it works so well is because it proves that the power is not accountable. It proves that it doesn't matter who's right or wrong, and it is a pure and raw explanation of power. And if you want, and this is what I've said before, right? If you want people to not fuck with you, don't be fair. Be unfair. Because people can predict fairness, and people aren't afraid of what they can predict. But they are afraid of unfairness because they don't know what's going to happen. And people are more afraid of the unknown than anything that they can predict. Always, always be unpredictable. And I think this is another dynamic of this, is that, and you see countries do this a lot, where like somebody gets put in jail for like a really long time for doing something that's like super small, minimal. Like, for example, Russia with like that basketball player bringing in a weed pen. Like, should she be in jail for 1 year for that? Like, realistically, I think everybody in the Russian government even knows the answer to that is no, it's ridiculous. But they do it because it's a power play. And that power play goes really fucking hard. That's why it happens. You quoting Musashi? Well, I don't know. I'm talking about like this from like what I've experienced myself.
Because now what they want is that even though it's been disproven, well, we still want you to tell us that you like women.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What is the point of this?
Power play. That's why. It's all about
and
power
even
play.
more so when you're putting out an article talking about the overall feeling of the game, how much you enjoyed the game, and then you have to put something like that in there. Like, we don't know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Trying to spin a narrative around this game to make it feel like, man, you should probably feel bad about playing this game, guys. You should feel bad about it. They're bad people over there. They say mean things on the internet. They say crude things on the internet. How dare they? I think the worst thing possible out of all the things that they said was there was an image of like a snake woman, like a lady that was like, her head was a regular person, but her body was like a snake. It was some like horror creature, and they were like, still would.
Yeah, if you posted that on Twitter, it would get 100,000 likes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, true. Why do I feel bad about playing a game? You shouldn't.
Are you serious? What, like they're not allowed to be human and take part in meme culture? Are you serious?
Yep.
What is this? But like,
well, these people are grown up. Like, I guarantee you, most of these people were losers in high school. They probably didn't have any friends, and they were outcasts. They were probably the kind of girl that, like, you know, their friend group kicks them out in middle school, and so like from then on, they like have some like fucking, you know, they're like a 1,000 piece puzzle with like 993 pieces, and like they can never fucking find those last 7 pieces, and they're constantly fucking upset about this with a chip on their shoulder. That's what it is. That's the kind of people. Like, these people are profound losers.
Like thought policing and
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, I'm so happy that their position was, we're working on the demo right now, and that's the only thing that we want to talk about. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that actually matters.
Exactly.
The game matters. What they do outside of that has no impact whatsoever on what consumers actually care about in the first place. Some of these some of these journalists and games media heads wonder why they're losing subscribers, want to know why they're losing readers. Well, it's probably because of the fact you keep putting things in your articles and in these discussions that don't belong there in the first place.
They don't belong there. They're not for the best interest of the user. You remember when jokes were taken as jokes? Well, the reason why they're not taken as jokes anymore is because the people that are the joke police are, like, if you just read their Twitter profiles, I mean, I don't have to call them mentally ill. They celebrate it. Isn't one of the bigger underlying issues that people want you to not separate the art from the creator because people think that J.K. Rowling is a piece of shit and now they can't enjoy Harry Potter? It's dumb. Well, I think that a lot of people do that. And, like, you're always going to have a reason why somebody is going to come up with an excuse for, like, why. Like, Stephen King says a bunch of stupid shit on Twitter. And I actually, like, by the way, like, I looked into what J.K. Rowling said for, like, 3 seconds, and then I thought to myself, why do I care about a UK author's opinion on transgenders? And then I just immediately closed it, and I thought about something that was more important, like boobs.
I originally went to go and read that article because it was
man.
talking about their first impressions, and I was just trying to gather a bunch of people's first impressions on the game. and then all of a sudden you want to go off on this tangent on something that was already disproven in the first place?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It's a power play.
What is this?
That's all it is.
You know, this isn't the first time we've seen this. The Wizard game. Yeah, that's right. Hogwarts Legacy. Game critics and journalists dogpiled this game as hard as they could. Wired.com gave it a 1 out of 10, not because of the gameplay, not because of the aesthetics, but because of the fact that J.K. Rowling had something to do with it, even though they're just the creator of the source material and actually had nothing to do with the actual creation of the video game, but that didn't matter. Meanwhile, a slew of other reviewers boycotted even reviewing the game in the first place. Some magazines didn't even post reviews whatsoever.
I didn't blame any of the streamers for not playing the game, because a lot of people got harassed for playing the game, and some people just don't want to get harassed. Like, I remember Silvervale got fucking, like, people went crazy on her about her playing the game. But I think that really, this is the way that I look at it, is that I have a very good memory, and I remember the people that that did that kind of stuff, and eventually there will be something that will make them look bad, and I will be making 3 YouTube videos about it, and I will farm it as much as I can, and if possible, I would destroy their career. That's right. That's the way I do things. That's how I handle things. I have got a good memory, and I'm very patient. And if something takes me 5 years, that wasn't too long at all. Yep, I will farm them. Absolutely.
However, and many of those that did actually review it still made sure to drop a little piece
And I have
of their...
done this to people before, by the way. I have. I don't like to name names, but there's been people that I have absolutely done this to, and every time that I think back on the fact that their life is irreparably damaged because of me, it makes me so happy. I feel so good, and there is nothing in the world that makes me feel better than that. It's... There are very few times in life where you have the opportunity to do the right thing. And in the cases where I do, I like to do it. The sweet feeling of revenge. I love revenge. I do. Absolutely. That's a bad thing to do? No, it's not. The bad thing to do is to allow bad actors to exist without consequences.
I cannot do this yet.
Yeah. No, I don't agree with that.
Mind about J.K. Rowling in the reviews. What are the chances that we see the same thing with Black Myth Wukong? Is it going to suffer the same fate?
Bad thing not to do it. Yeah,
Regardless
exactly.
of how many people tried to derail Hogwarts Legacy, it ended up being the first title in 15 years to beat Call of Duty in sales, selling 23 million copies in 2023.
Yeah.
Proving that...
And also, I think another element of this is the fact that all the people that were virtue signaling about not buying the game probably bought it anyway. Because you can't... Like, big surprise, people can't control themselves with entertainment. That's it. My Chinese wife has an ancient Chinese saying, and it says it's never too late for revenge. Yeah. I love that. That's, you know what? Man, maybe China not so bad after all. Is it more like righteousness than revenge in some ways? I don't like ever thinking of myself as like doing the right thing or helping anybody. It's enough for me to just fuck with somebody that I don't like. Like, I don't want anybody to think that I have like a savior complex. I don't need to be in the right in order to enjoy fucking somebody over. Now, it might make it feel better, maybe a little bit, but I don't need this. That's bullying? Depends on who they are.
Issues have no impact whatsoever on what games players want to play and what they want to buy. Hell, back when Activision Blizzard went through their major controversy, the players that were leaving the game weren't leaving because of what happened at the company. They were quitting because the game sucked. And as soon as they came out with...
That's a fucking fact. That is a fucking fact. Absolutely. Yeah, people, oh yeah, everybody just happened to quit the game during Korthia. Oh yeah, I'm sure that was because of the sexual harassment lawsuit. Oh yeah. That's the real reason why people stopped playing the game. It was during Shadowlands.
The new expansion, the vast majority of the players return to the game. I think that there are those in media today that are afraid of losing influence, afraid of games, studios, and publishers that they can't pressure in some way, shape, or form. If the readers aren't listening and the game makers don't listen either, then their relevance is nothing more than a flickering candle in the wind and they're running out of wick. There is no verifiable proof of Game Science mistreating their employees. And the only thing that you have to go off of are some jokes that they have made on the internet that any other human would make. Things that you see all of the time. Creating victims out of thin air. What's probably worse for them is the truth that they're coming to realize. Customers only care about the value of the product itself and not how it was made or who it was made by. Catering
That's exactly right. And this is something that everybody that was the fans of AI, or anti-fans of AI, were very unhappy whenever I said this. Very unhappy.
I cannot do this yet.
Oh, man. Yeah. My phone is made by slaves and I don't care. How many of you guys would rather your phone be made by slaves than pay an extra $100 for it? Me? Yeah.
These niche audiences who actually...
Shut the fuck up. Somebody goes, I'd pay extra. Fucking stop it. Stop it. Like, listen, like, we have enough, like, there's enough actual fucking drama and, like, negative shit that people have to say about me. We don't have to invent new things, okay, guys?
Do by things based on morals is useless because likely they don't even exist in the first place, and even if they did, they probably don't even
They're
play video
circumstantial.
games. This is only another factor that devalues the perspective and the voice of traditional games media and reviewers. And I know that there are good professional journalists and reviewers that are out there, but I wish that they were calling this.
By the way, Tibetan monks can do this. I tried to learn how to do this myself, but I could never figure it out. Yeah, I couldn't do it, like, 'cause it's crazy, I know. It's a stick. Yeah, I tried to do it with bamboo. The bamboo would keep breaking.
Stuff out, especially the
skill
writer
issue?
from IGN
Yeah, it's really
and The
hard.
Guardian, because this is only serving to damage their credibility and the credibility of all games media. The lack of independent thought and reasoning within games media today is staggering. It just blows my mind. At this point, I cannot wait for Black Myth Wukong to come out, not because I can't wait to play it, which obviously I can't wait to play it, but just to see the hot takes. Because you know for a fact, because for how long some of these different articles, journalists, and media sites have been running this headline and running with this narrative, you know they're going to be including that stuff going forward. Still trying to ask and find out, yeah, but you still didn't say that, you know, it doesn't reflect on your studio or anything like that. What does that even matter?
What does this, what does this have to do with the game? What? What the hell are you talking about the game for? Like, what are we talking about? We talk about the game, bro. Like, what's this got to be? What is this? Games media credibility is already almost gone, though? No, it's been gone. It's just that now people are realizing it. Why is there a huge controversy with every new big game nowadays? Stellar Blade controversy, Elden Ring controversy, etc.? Because mediocre losers like to complain when somebody else shows degrees of excellence that they can't even imagine of. It's the same reason why people like to always talk down about new streamers. Guys like Kai that try to reinvent the game. There's always, you've got these little rat crabs fucking try and drag them down. Mr. Beast makes videos. To be fair, some of this stuff was legitimate. But before the actual bad shit came out, think of all those rat crabs. He's taking advantage of blind people by letting them see. They're just rat crabs, man. That's it. Somebody tries to work and go above and beyond, and you see every other loser on the internet try to drag them back down. And you want to know why? It's like, if you want to figure out why somebody's doing something, figure out what they get out of it. And what they're getting out of it is that Now that they have compartmentalized and rationalized a person's good actions, or made them feel not as good, now they don't feel as guilty for the fact that they've wasted their entire fucking life complaining about things on the internet that nobody will ever care about. It's all about them. That's the real reason.
Like, they haven't made a joke
Misery
or a
loves
joke
company.
or anything like that in the past. It's so disingenuous. And that's one of the reasons why the vast majority...
Massively disingenuous, and everybody can see it. And the amount of people that project their PTSD from Cyberpunk and think every game released with shitty performance is crazy. I think that there's a good chance that Black Myth Wukong is going to release with a shitty PC port. I do. I think there's a very good chance of it. I think there's at least like a 15% chance. And that's just the way it is. Elden Ring released with shitty PC optimization.
Come over here.
I hope it doesn't. But we'll see what happens.
People just completely turned off of reading articles or IGN or
For like one
any
day,
of these companies anymore. Is because it's so disingenuous.
The world's burning
it's
PCs.
So fake. It's so
misinformation. EVGA had a defect inside of a certain graphics card line, and the problem was actually not with New World. You have to remember that, like with me, I remember every controversy that's ever happened and all the details for it. You're not going to catch me in some fucking bullshit. Try to put your agendas out there. They even took accountability for it.
Companies anymore. Is because it's so
sad.
disingenuous. It's so
Hey,
fake.
every one of mine was
It's so
EVGA
fake.
too.
You don't care about any of these things. You're just searching for a headline that you hope will get clicks.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Everybody can see it. Everybody knows it. Most of this stuff now, you're just making it up out of thin air. It's just even worse because now it's not only that we didn't find you entertaining, right? So we stopped reading because of that. But now we can't even trust the words that you say because you're just going to say whatever you want to hopefully try to get somebody to look at what you're saying. What's funny is, and I should have brought this up, I might end up making another video about this, but recently I just saw that PC Gamer put out a article talking about putting community notes on YouTube videos and how this games writer was talking about how how much YouTubers like to lie. Pot calling the kettle black.
YouTubers like to lie. Uh-huh. I guess the lie is... the lie is the thing that they disagree with. They like to clickbait for sure. Yeah, I think that clickbait is kind of annoying. For sure, that's some projection there. I think here's really the truth. You want my hot take? I think everybody misrepresents titles in order to get clicks. I think that YouTube does it. I think YouTubers do it. I think streamers do it. I think journalists do it. I think that they all do it. But the difference with a lot of these journalists that work at these publications is that when you watch the actual video, the video itself, unless you're watching Mr. Beast, seems to be authentic. But the difference is that the content itself from these articles is not even authentic either.
Meanwhile, none of these journalists seem to hold each other accountable. You guys ever notice that? You see YouTubers all the time. They'll go back and forth. Somebody will say something. They'll hold them honest. They'll make videos on it. Obviously, they can farm it. But you don't often see any of these games journalists ever going after one another for anything. Somebody writes a bad article or they lie about something or misrepresent something. Nobody wants to talk about it. At least not on the professional side. I mean, they could call that professionalism. I could call it dishonest. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Black Myth Wukong. What about you guys?
I am.
Anyway,
I'm gonna play the fuck out of it. I
Thank
really
you guys
hope
for
it's gonna be
watching.
fun,
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys
I
did,
really do.
like the video, subscribe to the channel, and catch me live on Twitch if you guys want to watch me play some video games, talk about gaming news, and chill out. Anyway, stay
Looks
cool,
fucking
stay
incredible.
righteous,
I'm
stay
hyped.
safe,
Yeah.
my friends, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Peace. There it is.
Family.
It's more like games journalists don't care about games. Games journalists care more about their perspective and like their viewpoints being reinforced by the games more than the games themselves. And I think that a lot of gaming journalists, they have a very toxic relationship with their audience. And I think this is something that streamers have too, in a lot of cases. And you can see streamers that have this happen, where it's like they have this very antagonistic and standoffish, like, relationship with their audience. And it's so, do you? No, I used to. And I think that really when I talk about a lot of this stuff, I speak from some of it from genuine experience whenever I've had this happen myself. Yeah. So that's, I think, the case with a lot of people, right? Doesn't surprise me. No one stated a review site is gamer focused because there's a market for it. That's obvious. Yeah, I mean, if I had more time, I would probably do something like that. I just don't really have the time for it, right? Used to be a game journalist. I was quoted often IGN 2005-7. It's more problematic with editors changing your scores or pushing you to focus on things. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably a lot worse than what people lead on. It's like protesters and activists. They care about disrupting normal people's lives more rather than the actual issues that they're protesting about. Well, I think that most people, again, in order to understand why they're doing something, it's because of the fact that it makes them feel good. And it makes them feel like they're doing the right thing. That's the main focus, nothing else besides that. Feels like a one-sided chat room. We get chat stars being parasocial, but that's just your brand. I wonder if you actually just hate us. Oh, I actually just hate you guys? No, I mean, I think I've spent too much time on stream to just hate you guys. Yeah, no, that's not the case. But here's really the way that I see it, is that I think that a lot of journalists have a relationship with their audience where it's like they view their audience as like a bunch of primates that they're trying to break through to and like spread the good word of like whatever their agenda is. And they insult the intelligence of their audience tremendously. I think that they're patronizing to the audience. And not only that, but I think they are the worst type of patronizing, which is they are patronizing in a way that is insulting to the intelligence of the audience. They're like, we are better than you, and they do it from like a moral standpoint. And I think that's what really annoys the most people. They're missionaries speaking to savages. Yeah, I think that's basically what happens. They see their audience as babies. Yeah, pretty much like that. Yeah, whereas like for me, like I do think that I have a better insight on a lot of things than other people do. I do. And like I have no problem. Like I'll say, like, for example, you know, like whether it was like that night media thing yesterday. Yes, I think the fact that I've been a top streamer for almost 10 years now, I literally own a company that's a talent management company. I also started another company that worked like that, like OTK, and I've worked with multiple companies like this in the past. I do think that I'm an expert. I do know what I'm talking about, right? I understand this better than almost anybody else. Same with streaming or media or anything else. Like, this is something I'm an expert in, etc. But outside of that, I pretty much just put my opinion out there. That's what I say. You don't come at from a moral standpoint? No. And I'll give you guys a link to this video. I love this video, by the way. This is like, this is my favorite video. Yeah, be open to changing your mind when an argument is good? Yeah, if it's a good argument. Absolutely. Do you have any VTubers on your agency? I think the better question is if we have up to 100 by now. Yeah, if the company is losing money on subs, why don't they just fire the bad journalists and hire good gamers? The reason why is that when your arm gets infected and you have to cut off the arm, there are healthy cells inside of the arm that you have to cut off, but you can't systematically go through and remove every single bad, unhealthy cell. And I think that what happens is that these people have infected these different companies at such a systematic level that it's just simply irreparable. I honestly think that's probably what's happened with Blizzard. I do. I'm very concerned about that.
But we should be good. We should be live everywhere. The gang should be here. For anyone that is watching this on YouTube, I'm hoping that things stay fine. If it turns out we're having bitrate issues and performance issues, we are going to have to wrap up the YouTube stream. And I'll just say it again really quickly because I'm nervous that the stream didn't pick it up on the first time. For the lovely people watching us on YouTube Live, if we are having stream issues, we will have to end the YouTube live stream, okay? So just so that everyone knows. But this will be posted onto YouTube, so you won't be like missing out on it or anything. You just won't be able to watch it live. And I'm thrilled that you guys are all here, and thank you all so much for the follows. With all that being said, let's kick it off. And again, please let me know if there are going to be problems, okay? I love when it goes from the like start screen straight into the game. Wow, my God.
All right, so Black Myth Wukong just released this week, and whoa boy, has it been a ride. The game came out swinging, already breaking records, reaching a peak concurrent count of 2.3 million players on Steam. And in
this this video came out like a day ago or 2 days ago. Look at this. It still has an over 2 million player peak. That is fucking insane. I think it'll start to go down next week because this is the weekend. So you've got a big buff, right? It's the first big weekend for the game. But the fact that it's held it for even longer than a day is fucking disgusting.
Dethroning Dota 2, Lost Ark, Counter-Strike, and Pow World, it now sits in second place for the highest concurrent player
PUBG
count
was
of
crazy
all
back
time,
then.
behind only PUBG.
Yeah.
So yes, the game is very popular,
It is.
and not only are there millions of people playing, most of them seem to really, really like it as well. Steam user reviews are overwhelmingly positive with a whopping 96% rating, which is quite high. To put it in perspective, of the top 20 most played games on Steam, there are only 5 other games that have a rating over 90%. Those being Elden Ring, Pow World, Valheim, Baldur's Gate 3, and Terraria. And now
Pretty
Black
fair.
Myth Wukong making
Never played
it
Terraria,
the 6th. Now, obviously, the game just came out. There's a lot of positive early reviews, and this review score could change over time. But man, with the high concurrent player count and the high review rating, the game is certainly off to a good start. And it's done this in
Somebody
spite...
says it's Chinese boosted online. So, like, if people from Canada like a video game, does that mean that the video game isn't really actually good? Why is there this artificial distinction between video game players in China and video game players in America? Is it because of, like, a language or cultural difference? Because I don't think that's really very valid. I think we play a ton of games that are from different cultures. Like, look at Nintendo. That's from Japan. It's a Japanese game. Mario, Legend of Zelda. It shouldn't. It has nothing to do. Like why? I don't understand any logic to that at all.
Of all the pre-release discourse around Black Myth Wukong's development studio and their oddly specific restrictions for streamers who were given codes, which included not discussing China, feminism, or COVID. Yeah, that went over.
Thank God. That should just be the norm.
Over super well, as you would expect. But despite all of that, we have got the second...
Which, by the way, is just simply them regurgitating the state mandates from China. Has nothing to do with their actual opinions as a game development studio.
Most popular Steam game ever, and overwhelmingly positive reviews. So yesterday, I spent the entire day playing Black Myth Wukong for myself, and I can tell you, I get it. This game is actually
You can spawn
quite
the
good.
snakes
Or
that
to put
early?
it precisely, it's just plain old, simple fun with good gameplay. It's relatively polished, and on top of that, has no BS monetization. This is being the like rare trifecta.
Yeah, you want to know why people from the West are mad about this fucking game? You see devs trying to shit on this game, journalists, it's because this is messing with their fucking money. Wouldn't that be a sign of a genuinely good game? If cultures are far more into gaming or having a positive reviews about said culture, wouldn't that suggest it's actually good? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of success in the games industry nowadays. So I want to tell you a bit about the game, starting with a basic overview and then my thoughts and impressions from what I've seen so far. Now, if you didn't know, Black Myth Wukong is a fairly linear action-adventure boss rush game that tells the mythological Chinese tale of Journey to the West. You play as the Destined One, traversing the lands, meeting intriguing characters, and eliminating any foes in your path, of which there are plenty. Combat amounts to alternating combos of light and heavy attacks with stances, mixing up your moveset and potential, along with a range of abilities that you unlock as you play. The first skill that you get is this incredibly useful freeze that immobilizes any enemy, including bosses, for a few seconds, letting you chip away at their health. As for defense, it is mostly all about dodging, with perfectly timed evades being heavily rewarded. You eventually also unlock a parry in the form of this stone form ability, giving you another defensive option, but there is no blocking. Really, you're just dodging all incoming attacks. And then beyond your basic attacks and the handful of skills that you got, there are the transformations. Now, initially, you can turn into this pole arm wielding wolf, dishing out loads of fire damage until either his health or energy meter depletes and you transform back. And then you also have these spirits of rare enemies that you capture that can be bound to you and summoned periodically. These will have some sort of a passive effect.
That's the headbang that I did.
Increasing either offensive, defensive, or your utility.
Damn, man, that thing sucks. No wonder he doesn't use that. Wow. You see that did, like, no damage? Jesus.
This active ability where you temporarily, for a brief second, transform into the creature and do some specifically unique variety of attack for that spirit. And with all of these tools in place, what you're doing is moving through these mostly linear environments, taking on groups of basic enemies and bosses, lots and lots of bosses. But before I go into further detail, let me tell you about the boss of today's video. Today's video is sponsored by Guild Wars 2, a free-to-start MMO that for me has always been about world exploration and discovery.
Did they do a big
Coupled with
update
its
for Guild
mostly
Wars 2?
horizontal progression system, this is a big part of what's kept me coming back. I never feel far behind or like I need to grind for weeks. I can just jump back in, play for a while, and check out the latest content. Speaking of which, they recently released the Janthier Wilds expansion on August 20th. This 5th expansion brings players to the fabled Isles of Janthier in pursuit of new adventures and rewards. In terms of the new stuff, well, there's a new weapon for all professions, the two-handed spear. Initially, this was exclusively an underwater weapon. Well, there's now a land version coupled with its own unique skills for every class. They've added a housing system, homesteads, an account-wide personal
game looks a lot better than it did when it first came out
to decorate and cultivate. They've also updated the Warclaw mount acquisition method, giving it its own mastery line. There's new challenging and cooperative content with 3 new open-world explorable maps, convergences, these 50-player events, and a new raid with challenge mode. There's a new fractal dungeon with its own challenge mode, and Wizard's Vault rewards. If you're interested in checking it out for yourself, you can use my link in the video description below. All right, so at the top, I called this a boss rush game, and that's mainly because there are bosses literally everywhere. It seems you can't turn a corner without stumbling into another boss in this game. There may very well be as many bosses as there are regular enemies. That's probably not actually the case, but honestly, it feels that way at times.
It's pretty fucking close.
Because you are just fighting bosses constantly. Now, from what I've seen so far, these have all been really cool looking with interesting mechanics and just genuinely fun fights. The difficulty varies for the most part. I would say it's on the easier side as I have one-shot most of the small and medium bosses, but the larger, more major fights, those kind of ramp the challenge up a little bit more, and those have taken me a few attempts in some instances. I think what I've liked the most about it, though, is just all of the variety. I think with one exception, I have not actually seen a repeated boss type, and even the one repeat I did see had a lot that was different about it as well. Playing for about 10 hours yesterday, I have come across 25
classic
of the game's 90 total bosses, and everyone that I've seen once again has been